All right, hello everybody, and welcome to the Data Community Content Creators Award Ceremony with myself and my co-host Harpreet Sahota. Hello, welcome.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? The first annual award ceremony for the content creators in our space. Man, I can't believe this day's finally here. We've been talking about this for months, man. I remember when I first messaged you, I was like, Kate, I've got a crazy idea. Let's just do an award show. And you're like, all right, let's do it. And why not, right? Because the data community in general is just filled with amazing content creators who are educating and inspiring people with their creativity and their desire to help others. And so this award ceremony is just a way of honoring them. And
Yes.
I think the proposal I came to you with was like, imagine the MTV Video Music Awards meets the People's Choice Awards. And the day's finally here, man. I can't believe it.
I know. I still remember the day you asked me. I'm like, yeah, sure. What's one more event, right? And now several months later, we're finally here. Really, really excited to announce winners, do some giveaways. We have some really cool guest speakers, and we're definitely taking live questions from the audience. So as you're joining us, let us know where you're tuning in from. Did you vote? I'm gonna just say hello to a couple of people who got here super early. I love it. Ravit's here. You've got Al Bellami's here, George Furican.
Nice.
Monica, who was just backstage with us just a minute ago. So you're going to hear from her later on today. Really, really excited to be here. And yeah, Harpreet, when you came to me, I'm like, yeah, this is a great idea. And I've never seen this done in the format that we're taking the approach, right? Typically, you'll see the categories and then you'll see some names kind of populated that you have to vote for A, B, or C. In this case, we kind of left everything blank. So when you get to the voting booth, there's a blank piece of paper, and we ask you a question: who is the best YouTuber in math and stats? And you have to think to yourself, who is that? And really just type in their name. And I think that helps us uncover some really cool people that we might have not even thought of if we were to just Google who are the top 3 YouTubers 2021. So really, really looking forward to all this. And like I said, we're going to have awesome giveaways. We're going to announce the first giveaway and tell you a little bit more after our first award. So Harpreet, do you want to start with the first award?
Definitely want to start with the first award. But before we do that, just shout out real quick. Just let you guys know these votes were, we had the Google form capturing all the votes, but then the actual validation and tallying of these votes were 2 members of my community. There's J. Raj Parmar and Eric Katonga. Both of those gentlemen independently validated the votes and the counts. And I want to just say thank you guys so much for taking on that responsibility and helping us out there. So J. Raj and Eric, if you guys are in the audience right now, you have my heartfelt and sincere appreciation for that. So thank you so much. And so we're opening with the category for Instagram, right, Kate?
Yes, yes. Let's get your screen up there. So
yeah, definitely. So like the thing about Instagram is it's such a unique platform. I remember when they recently, it was just like maybe over a year ago when they started doing those carousel posts. And I've been blown away by the creativity of some of these carousel posts and how much amazing content is out there and educational content. And so it's going to be my distinct pleasure to talk about this next award. But let's see who our runners-up were. So we have 3 runners-ups in this category. So these were the 3 people who the community had placed the most votes for. So why don't you guys go ahead right now in the chat, tag each one of these individuals if you think that individual has won this category. And we'll give you, how long should we give them, Kate?
We'll give them 30 seconds. So either select Ali Miller, Kyle McHugh, Sundas Khalid. Let us know who you think fell into the first slot. So we've got our top 3 runners up. Is that what you call them? Anyways, finalists, top 3 finalists shown on screen here. And I can't wait to see who people are going to vote for. Well, they already voted, right? But who people are going to vote for, who they think is going to win. And then we're going to show you who's actually won. So let's get these comments coming in. If you're joining us on LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, or Twitch, you could put that in the comments and we'll get to see some of these answers.
And each one of these people has some great content. Kyle McHugh, obviously, very, very good friend of mine. I love his stuff. His stuff is absolutely amazing. His content. Sundas Khalid, I'm not sure if a lot of people know her outside of LinkedIn, but she's got some amazing content on Instagram. It provides a lot of value to the community. And come on, Allie Miller she's the one and only Allie Miller.
Yes.
Her stuff is always so amazing. So I'm wondering, what are people saying? What's
All right.
what are people saying? What are the comments coming in?
So
See,
we've got Allie, we've got Allie, we've got Allie, we've got Sundas, Shruti joining through LinkedIn. Yep, we've got another Allie.
all
And
right.
while people are still voting, I just want to look at some of the other comments here. Naman is liking the red carpet and the stage here. Eric says he's great to have helped out. So I'm guessing he helped with the votes, right?
Mhm. Yeah,
And
yeah.
Shruti said it's feeling like she's part of an award function. Yes, Shruti,
You
this
are,
is
man.
the award function of the year.
It's the only one of its kind. I bet you guys haven't seen anything like this before because we spoke this into existence, Kate. This thing did not
Yes,
exist before, and we just made it happen. So
absolutely.
should I go ahead and
Wait,
cue?
wait, 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 wait.
Okay,
Hold
okay,
on. I
okay. The
want
suspense is
wait.
killing me.
We've got Kyle McHugh. Okay, hold on. We can't do this yet. I got to do my drum roll. Okay, ready?
Okay, yeah, let's do it.
And the winner is.
And the winner is Allie Miller.
Yay!
Yes,
Congratulations,
Allie Miller.
Allie.
So, man, I wonder if we can get Allie on stage to accept the award. Is that possible?
You know, that's a great idea. Hold on. Hey, Allie, can you come here and accept your award real quick?
Hey friends, wanted to give a huge thank you for me and my new unicorn balloon friend. Thank you for joining all my Instagram lives, all my interviews with inspiring women in STEM. We did mentorship giveaways, mentorship live sessions, resume reviews, fundraising for Girls Who Code, the launch of Girls of the Future, and so much more. I know all of you are excited to learn about artificial intelligence and machine learning, and my favorite part of social media, besides sometimes sharing balloons, is that you get to share your whole self. And when I post on Instagram, yes, a lot of it is about technology and business, but I also sometimes sing and play piano, and that's really fun. And I also hike and have been on a road trip for the last 12 months, and I basically live streamed falling down a mountain. So if you're having doubts of whether to post on social media, the answer from me and my unicorn friend is yes. Thank you again.
I love this. So
I
awesome.
absolutely love that, man. That's an interesting point and very important point, right? That whole bringing your whole self. I feel like some people always feel like we have to portray a professional side of us or an incomplete side of ourselves. I really like that she is advocating just bringing your whole self, be your entire self, and share that with the world. Every one of you out there has got something special and unique to share. So why not do it, man? You've got one life on this planet, man. Why not share it?
Absolutely. Yes. And I love the unicorn balloon for sure. And then the live streaming falling down the mountain is a great touch. So yeah, Harpreet, you want to say something before I go over to my giveaway thing?
I did not know that she live streamed falling down a mountain. I've got to find that footage and see what happened. Allie, hopefully you're okay. I mean, it looks like you're doing completely okay. So I'm glad you came out of that in one piece.
Yes, yes. So first, I want to thank our community partners. They've totally been extremely helpful. Our community partners, our media partners, in terms of helping us share the word and the message around what we're trying to do here, and also some community partners that have provided giveaways. Because what kind of event would there be without some giveaways? I think it's always fun to get free stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and announce the very first giveaway. It is 3 premium tickets to the DS Go virtual in July, I believe July 24th, 25th. All you have to do in order to participate is just type in hashtag DS Go virtual into the comments from wherever you're joining us, right? So hashtag DS Go virtual. I'll keep this on screen for a little bit so you know what to type, after which we'll remove it from screen, go back to our agenda here, and then we'll announce winners in just a couple of minutes. But Harpreet, you were involved in the last DS Go virtual, right?
That's right. Yeah, I was invited to be the MC of the last DS Go virtual. Shout out to our good friends over there at DS Go virtual, Diane. She's hooking us up with the 3 free tickets to give away here. I'll actually be back at DS Go virtual in July as well. I'll be emceeing the event. I've also got a booth during the I think it's called the pre-event networking session. I'll be there with the booth, and then also I'll be presenting at the full day event as well on the
Mhm.
I think it's the Sunday. So I'm really excited for that. Ken G is going to be there. Eric Reese is going to be there. Andrew Jones is going to be there. I mean, so many amazing people are going to be doing some awesome presentations. So this is definitely a event that you do not want to miss.
Yes, and you've got a shout out here that you were a great MC last time. We've got all these DSGO virtual hashtags coming in, so people are getting it. You know how to play the game. We'll make the announcement of 3 winners shortly. But yes, Harpreet, let me know if you want to move forward with our next award.
Yeah, definitely. We could do that. Yeah, why don't we move forward then with the next award? So for those of you just joining, we presented one award so far already. That was the Instagram award for Ali Miller. That was the award for the favorite Instagram personality, which was awarded to Ali Miller. Next up, we got Twitter. All right. So these were the 3 finalists for Twitter. We've got Ken G, Kirk Bone, and Jacqueline Nolis. So I'm wondering who you guys think won. Go ahead and put that right there into the chat. So Kate, like, believe it or not, I just recently started doing this Twitter thing
Okay.
about a year ago. So I know it's been around for many years, but I never really caught on to it. And I'm just wondering, like, I was doing a thought experiment the other day, and I was like, how different would my life have been if my social media platform of choice was Twitter rather than Facebook or Instagram? Because a lot of the great thinkers that I currently follow are really active on Twitter. For example, Naval Ravikant, you know, Shane Parrish, things like that, people like that. And it's interesting to think, the counterfactual reality where Twitter was my preferred social media. Have you been active on this thing?
On this thing, not really. I've actually tried a couple of times. So the way I use Twitter is whatever I post on LinkedIn, it auto posts to Twitter. So I have Twitter followers, and I probably tweet maybe once a month intentionally. But I'm pretty terrible at actually tweeting regularly. One main reason is the @DATAcated was taken by somebody. So I
Really?
have to use @DATAcated with an underscore, which is I know. I don't know how to address that. But we've got some people saying it could be Kirk Bourne, it could be Ken G. We've got someone who's definitely saying it's Ken G. Anna Maria saying it's Ken G. Because he's got his hashtag 66 days of data.
Mm,
Let's see, Kirk Bourne. Lots of votes coming in here. And let me know when you're ready to announce. I mean, Twitter has been very interesting. I think sometimes
yeah.
I go in and I read the feeds. A lot of it is, I think it's a little bit more controversial than, let's say, LinkedIn, at least for my feed.
Yeah.
You'll see a lot more people arguing, whereas LinkedIn is more of like, hey, let's support each other. You rock. No, you rock. No, you're the best. So it's different.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess you can really tell a person's personality by going through their Twitter feed and seeing what they get themselves involved into.
Yes.
Let's go ahead and cue up the drum roll here, Kate.
Let's do this.
And the winner is... Oh, shoot. Wait. Jacqueline Nolis. The winner is Jacqueline Nolis. So that's interesting. It was somebody completely unexpected. I saw a lot of comments here coming in for Kate or Kirk Bone, but yeah, Jacqueline Nolis took this award away. Jacqueline unfortunately could not join us today for this event, but if you would like to hear more from Jacqueline, you could check out the episode I released with her on my podcast, The Artist of Data Science. Jacqueline and her co-author Emily Robinson were kind enough to come onto my podcast earlier. I think it was late last year, actually, to talk about their most recent book, How to Build a Career in Data Science. Jacqueline, thank you so much for your wonderful content on Twitter. You guys should go ahead and follow her. I believe her handle is Sky Tetra, but definitely she has some really great content on there. Jacqueline, congratulations.
Yes. Huge congratulations to Jacqueline. We're actually going to be giving away one of those. One of the books we're giving away is actually Jacqueline's book. So you'll hear her name come up one more time. Now, before we go on to the next award, I'm thinking, Harpreet, let's announce one winner for DSGO Virtual, and then we'll announce 2 more after, if you don't mind. I think it's going to be fun because we already have, let's see, we've already got 18 entries. So to participate in this one, it's hashtag DSGO Virtual. Get a free pass to DSGO Virtual coming up in July. So I'm going to go ahead and click draw. So we'll get our very first winner here. Oh, let's do drum roll too. It's a little slower than my drum roll. Oh, congratulations.
All right.
Mima. Awesome. We are going to follow up with you after the show, obviously. And so if you want to keep participating in that giveaway, it's hashtag DSGO Virtual. So put that in the comments. And Harpreet, what award are we giving out next?
So the next award that we are giving out is going to be a YouTube. The next few awards are actually going to be for YouTube content. Man, this was a these votes were really close, guys. So I'm excited to get into it. And man, like I've been impressed how much YouTube content has changed over the years. I remember when I was in grad school many years ago, I turned to YouTube quite frequently to help me through a lot of the coursework I was doing. And my big guy back then was Patrick JMT. And I don't think Patrick has posted a video in well over 10 years or 12 years. But just seeing the evolution of YouTube content since then, it was literally just a camera over a blank piece of paper and he was just writing stuff down. And now just kind of seeing the evolution of the content and how it's changed. It's been so freaking awesome to see. But yeah, back then there's Patrick JMT and Math by Fives. Those were like my 2 kind of go-to guys for YouTube. How about you? Did you ever have like a favorite YouTube kind of channel?
So YouTube actually was the start of my content creation career.
Oh, really?
I want to say, yes. I never really made it big on YouTube, meaning I don't have that many followers. But what happened was when I just started posting content on social media, we started this thing called Data Science Office Hours with Sarah Nuravi, Terry Singh, Kristen Kerr, Eric Weber, a couple of others. And we kind of would just get together every couple of weeks and go live on YouTube. This is pre-LinkedIn Live era. And yeah, I mean, a couple of my first videos were just me reading a script because I didn't know how to just talk to a camera, of me talking about like, this is how you use Tableau. And it was terrible. I still have it up there. I mean, people can go check it out. It used to be called Tableau Coach. Now it's evolved into being DATAcated. But yeah, YouTube is definitely great. I love it for the reason that it's still searchable, right? When you put content out on most social media platforms, they're there for about 24 hours and then they're still there, but no one's going to see them. Whereas YouTube, my videos from like 5 years ago are still being viewed very regularly because they're searchable. So definitely love YouTube. And I know YouTube is such a big category for our awards ceremony here today. Do you want to tell people the thought process behind the 3 categories in YouTube?
Yeah, definitely. But just a quick word. I do remember coming across your content probably about 3 years ago when I was first like making that transition into data science from like the academic kind of world. I remember the Humans of Data Science series, and I remember seeing some of my friends, like people who eventually became my friends, like Kyle McHugh and Randy Lau, show up on those, and it was really cool to see that. But yeah, so we decided to split the YouTube category into 3 distinct categories. We've got math and statistics tutorials, we've got machine learning and AI tutorials, and then data science general. So really, math and statistics, all of this does fall under the umbrella of kind of data science, but they're really different sides of the same coin, I guess, if you can imagine a 3-dimensional coin. Actually, if you imagine a coin, on one side you have math and statistics, on the other side you have machine learning and AI, and then the rim of the coin, that little outer rim part, that's the data science. But yeah, so right now what we are going to share the award for is the math and statistics tutorial. Kate, do you want to go ahead and bring up the screen?
Yep, there you go.
Yeah, so for those of you folks just joining us, we gave the award for the favorite Twitter personality, and that went to JACQUELINE NOLIS. Now we are going to look at math and statistics tutorial. So the runner-ups, or the finalists rather, for this category, we've got Kenji, Josh Starmer, and KRISH NAIK. So guys, why don't you go ahead and put it right there in the chat. Tag the person you think is going to be taking this award home with them today. Yeah,
Harpreet,
yeah.
Scott Taylor texted me saying my drum roll doesn't sound like a drum roll. I'm gonna stop drum rolling things.
Oh, really? What? Okay.
He said it sounds more like static. So thanks, Scott. That's good to know.
Thank you very much for that, Scott. Appreciate you helping us out there. But yeah, so go ahead, put that right there in the chat, man. Who do you guys think is going to win this award?
Let's see. If you guess every single one of these right, you will get the award of being a good guesser.
Yes, that's correct. That's correct.
Let's see how well you know your community. So who did people vote for? Kenji, Josh Starmer, or KRISH NAIK?
And I just want to say, guys, like these are definitely big names, but there's so many other people out there that are doing such amazing content. Kate, do you mind if I just real quickly kind of talk about some of the people that I
go for it.
personally look forward to on YouTube? So there's obviously, like, for old school stuff, Patrick JMT, and by old school I mean dude writing on a paper. Patrick JMT is good. There's another one, I think her name was Patricia something or other. Tina Huang is amazing. There's I should have queued this up earlier, Kate. Maybe I can talk about it during the next award. I'll bring that up during the next award. How about for right now? It looks like we can go ahead and just present our award.
Wait. Let's see what people think it is.
Oh, okay.
Some people think it's Josh Starmer, Kenji, Josh Starmer, Kenji, KRISH NAIK, Josh Starmer. It's really all over the place at this point. So I think we can go ahead and, without the drum roll, which somebody said, Robert said it sounds more like a can opener. I love this. I love the honesty, guys. Keep it coming.
And the winner is Josh Starmer. Now, Josh Starmer, also known as the man behind StatQuest. StatQuest is really, it's been really instrumental for me for a lot of content, both math and stats related. I've actually got a chance to interview Josh Starmer on my podcast, The Artist of Data Science. And believe it or not, that was his very first podcast interview. It was the one that he did with me. And since then, he's been on a number of different shows. But yeah, man, Josh Starmer is amazing. He's a really cool guy, and I couldn't be more happy for him. Should we see if Josh is backstage? Does he have?
Wait! I think I hear him knocking. Hold on.
Is he coming?
Yeah, there he is. Hold on. Come here, Josh. A word to the fans, please.
Hello, I'm Josh Starmer, and I just want to say, bam! It is a huge honor to receive the People's Choice Award for Data Science Content for Favorite YouTube Channel for Math and Statistics Tutorials. I want to thank the event organizers, Harpreet Sahota and Kate Strachny, and I want to personally thank each and every single person that voted for my channel, StatQuest with Josh Starmer. It really means a lot to me. Hooray!
I love the hooray. It's
double bam to that one. I'll give you a double bam for that one. Yeah, Josh Starmer is freaking amazing. And you know what? Not only is he like he does like these really cool, like, happy songs for his StatQuest video, but he's actually got actual music that he creates as well. If you look up Josh Starmer on Spotify, you'll see a lot of his music. It's really good. One of my favorite songs that he's done, that just recently came up into my playlist, was called Oceans. So look up Oceans by Josh Starmer. It is an amazing track, and definitely check out StatQuest on YouTube. He's got amazing content there.
Yeah, so we've got a lot of bams coming in here in the comments.
Yeah, man.
Oh, I love this. I'm having too much fun here, Harpreet.
Same here.
Congratulations. Awesome. I think going in line with what we did with the other award, I'm going to go ahead and do one more giveaway, and then we're going to go back to doing another YouTube one.
Absolutely.
Good? Okay. So let's go ahead for our second winner for DS Go Virtual. I'm going to go ahead and draw it one more time. Let's see. Our second winner for DS Go Virtual is, and then guys, if you still want to enter to win, just hashtag DS Go Virtual to participate. J-Raj Parmar, congratulations. We're going to follow up with you. I wish this had more of a
right on. So J-Raj is actually the one of the people who helped me tally up the votes. So J-Raj, thank you so much
Nice.
for helping out. And I'll
Oh,
go
that's
ahead
awesome.
and I'll get you your information to get that ticket.
Perfect. So as we go on to our very next award, I just want to let people know, make sure you stick around. First of all, we've got amazing people we want to highlight as part of this award ceremony, but we also have some really great speakers that have provided, are going to provide us with some great presentations today. So you're definitely going to learn a lot. You're going to hear about these amazing content creators and giveaways. I see people are continuing to post at DSGO Virtual. Keep that up. We do have one more ticket to give away. Oh, look, Scott Taylor's here. Oops, I clicked the wrong one. Scott Taylor. This thing's moving fast. All right. Gonna go ahead and share your screen, Harpreet. You good for the next?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do this. Okay.
So for those of you who just tuned in, we gave away the award for, actually, we didn't give it away. You guys voted the award for Math and Statistics Tutorial for Josh Starmer. Next category we're going to talk about here is Machine Learning and AI. Now, within Machine Learning and AI, we've got a, this should actually be, we'll see if I got this right, Kate. I might have messed this one up, but let's.
You messed this one up. You totally.
Let's see. I might have messed this one up. This one might be
well,
a trip.
Harpreet is gonna go fix that. I'm gonna go and read through some of the comments we've been getting. So a lot of comments on the red carpet. So yes, Harpreet and I chose our background together. This is all thanks to Canva. Big shout out to Canva. Everything we're doing here is based on Canva and StreamYard, holding it all together.
Yeah.
Some people are definitely trying to, match our outfits here. So they're saying that we need to get.
Can we get a round of applause for Kate? Look how outstandingly stunning she looks. Kate, amazing. Is that Chanel, Prada, Gucci, Dolce Gabbana?
Scott asked who I am wearing. I'm wearing DATAcated brand. Obviously, get your outfit in the DATAcated merch. Yeah, see, there's Scott. Who are you wearing?
So we're gonna this award actually that we're gonna share is that we're gonna switch the order up on you guys a little bit. We're doing YouTube still, but this is just data science general. So this is the YouTube category for data science general that we have up right here. So the finalists here are Srivatsan, Srinivasan, Kenji, KRISH, NAIK. Go ahead right there in the chat, tag who it is that you think won this award. And again, I just want to talk about some of the awesome stuff that's on YouTube. Like we mentioned, these are some of the big names out there, but there's people out there that are creating amazing content. My good friend Vin Vashista, he has got some amazing content as well. Alex Freyberg is quite popular as well. Just a lot of great content out there. 3 Blue 1 Brown, and so much good stuff out there on YouTube. I mean, who needs school anymore, right? Who needs?
I know. Like when my daughter asks me questions, I'm like, let's Google this, and a lot of times we end up on YouTube because I'm like, here, just watch this video. They'll ask me about questions I can't really answer. Like, why is the sky blue? I'm like, here's a video here.
Yeah.
Or about specific holidays that I've never heard of that they're learning about in school. I'm like, here's a YouTube video. Let's educate ourselves together because it's just easier. So let's see. We've got people saying it could be Ken, it could be KRISH. Eric Sims is saying this is tough. Ken G, KRISH NAIK. Before we announce the winner, let's take a quick question from Ravid because he wants to know which category had the closest votes, basically. Which one was the tightest?
Off the top of my head, I don't know. I think it was. I mean, maybe if J-Raj or Eric are in the chat, maybe you can help Ravid with that question. Answer that off the top of my head. I'm not sure which one was the absolute closest, but there's, they're all pretty tight, especially the YouTube. The YouTubes were quite close.
All right, you want to go to?
Yeah, let's do it, man.
Winner here?
Yeah, and the winner is KRISH NAIK.
Woo!
KRISH NAIK. Now, I'm not gonna lie, dude, I did not know who KRISH NAIK was before I saw his like the votes come in, I was like, wait, who the heck is this KRISH NAIK guy? And I started looking up his content, and I didn't realize he has like, he's huge, man. He's massive. He's got like how many, like 300,000 followers
Yes.
on LinkedIn or something like that.
On YouTube.
On YouTube. Like that, to me, that's massive. I mean, it's interesting to see like these numbers look huge, right? 300,000 followers. Even on LinkedIn, he's got like a ton of followers, but it just shows how big the world is, right? That, you know, you can come across somebody who has this many followers, but like never hear them before, right? But
I
yeah,
know.
KRISH NAIK. Is KRISH NAIK around?
I'm gonna see if I can get him to show up. We might have to leave the stage for a second, but before we do that, I wanna let you know I actually had KRISH NAIK on the DATAcated show, and we talked about how to build resumes and prep for data science interviews.
Nice.
It was one of my most popular shows. People really loved it. So, KRISH, thank you so much for he's so approachable, and he's such a great member of the community. So congratulations. Oh, there he goes.
Hello guys, thank you for voting my YouTube channel for the favorite YouTube channel for data science general. It's really amazing, and I'm pretty much happy that my YouTube channel was definitely helpful for you. And yes, keep on supporting the channel, and I hope I'll be making this kind of amazing content for you all so that you will be able to learn more and more. And yes, this particular channel has helped many people to make successful career transition, which I really feel proud of. And thank you for all the love, and thank you for voting me for this particular amazing award, for the best YouTube channel for data science general. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye bye.
Awesome.
All right.
Congratulations, Krish. That's super excited for you, man. That's huge. I know you're doing a lot. I went through a lot of his YouTube videos as soon as I found out who he was, and it's amazing. His explanations are really clear, really in depth. I really enjoyed it, and you know, he's doing a big thing. He's not only is he huge in India, he's huge in the States and North America as well. So Kate, Eric here says actually that the data science and data science general machine learning AI had the closest votes.
Yep, I was just reading that. Awesome. Thanks for getting that data so quickly to us, Eric. And I do see our speaker backstage, but first I'm going to do a quick giveaway for that last giveaway, and we'll do another award. And then Gilbert, we see you there. So let me go ahead and run this one last time, get our final winner here. We've got 28 entries. I'm going to go ahead and draw this again. And our third winner for the DSGO Virtual Premium Free Ticket here is Martin.
All right, Martin.
Congratulations, man. We're going to follow up with you once everything's said and done. And I'm actually, let me remove my screen. Just checking in. People are just congratulating KRISH. They're very happy. I know he's had an impact on so many lives. When people joined that LinkedIn Live, we had so many of his like really true fans show up and say how he's actually transformed their careers with he's got this really low cost courses and training materials that he puts out regularly. So I'm sure that's a huge help to everybody.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Well, thank you so much for that, KRISH. You know, hopefully we can connect in the near future as well. Would love to get to know you better, my friend. Congratulations to you.
Yes. So let's do our our last YouTube. Are you ready for the
yeah, ready for the last YouTube? All right, so for everyone who's just joining us within the last few seconds, KRISH NAIK won the category of data science general. You guys voted him. Let's see what the next category is. Next category is going to be the YouTube content for machine learning and AI. So here we've got John Crone, Srivatsan Srinivasan, and Ken G. So go ahead right there in the chat, tag who you think the winner of this award is, and then we'll go ahead and reveal the winner. Is there a music? Somebody's asking if there's a musical interlude. Maybe we can get Susan Walsh. Susan, are you around? Can we get you
you're
in?
around. At least put some of your videos in the chat, Susan. We're gonna need some. We're gonna need some music because clearly my drum roll sounds like static. So.
But yeah, it's great to, man, like seeing all these votes come in, you guys.
Yes,
We
yes.
could not have done any of this without you guys, getting out there voting and helping, promote this event. Really appreciate you guys taking time out of your schedule to fill out the questionnaire and the form and helping make this happen. So what are some of the people saying in the
So
in the
we've
chat?
got John Crone, we've got Srinivas, we've got Kenji, Srinivas, KRISH. Let me see. I think I've actually seen John Crone in the audience. Wow, look at that.
Hey,
His
John
fingers and
Crone.
toes are crossed. That must hurt.
Ah.
People saying it could be John, it could be Ken, it could be KRISH. Again, it sounds like it's very, very close. And I think this was one of the category. This was the category that was pretty close, right? This one and the data science one.
All right, let's go. Without further ado, let's see who it is. And the winner is John Crone as the favorite YouTube creator in the category of machine learning and AI. John, my good friend, congratulations on winning this award. Your content is amazing. He's got this amazing series where he's taking you through the absolute fundamentals and basics from calculus all the way up through linear algebra. It's great content, clearly explained. You get a little bit of the history of it too. So thank you so much for all you do. And for those of you who did not know, John Crone is also host of the Super Data Science podcast. Now, if you ever wondered what it would like to see both John Crone and Harpreet Sahota in the same place, well, then tune in to episode number 457 of Super Data Science podcast, where I'm there with John Crone. John Crone, you're in the audience, but are you backstage at all? Like, are you?
I'm gonna get him in just a second. I think I see him hiding next to my closet over there.
Oh, that's John. What are you doing, man?
And I've actually got his book. I got his book here as well. So he's also a great author. He's written the Deep Learning Illustrated book. I also got the honor of being interviewed by John on the Super Data Science podcast. It was actually my second time on that podcast. The first time was with Kirill Eremenko. Always a great time. And oh, look, John's coming up here right now. Let's hear from John.
Wow. I am so delightfully surprised by this great honor. Wish I wasn't caught so off guard. I'd have been in a spot that didn't have this awful backlighting. Thank you to the voters, the fans of my channel who nominated me for this award category. I can't tell you how much this honor means to me. We have an extremely neurotic focus on quality with every single video we publish to my YouTube channel. Seems like the crippling neuroticism has paid off. Many thanks to Songbin Lee and Maria Lee, who have edited, produced, branded, and marketed my YouTube channel from day one. Thanks as well to Guillaume Rousseau, who recently joined us and dramatically accelerated how quickly we can publish perfectly edited videos. Finally, thanks Harpreet and Kate for creating this valuable award show for the community. Wow. So grateful to all of you for making this possible. Thank you. All right, I'll shut up now. Let's get back to the ceremony.
Awesome. I love it. I love it.
Man.
Thanks, John. You can go have a seat. Thank you so much for hopping in here.
Congrats, John. John, thank you so much for your wonderful content, and congrats on winning this award, man. I couldn't be happier for you. I know you put in a lot of work and effort into that stuff, so I'm glad it's paid off.
Yes. Let me see. We've got, oh yeah, Ravi's just adding another piece of information. Apparently John Crone is a heavy weight lifter as well.
Yes, so he can deadlift 405 pounds, which is 400 more pounds than I can deadlift.
It's interesting that you know that number very well, Harpreet, but okay, let's move on. You're like, yeah, that happened. So before we actually, Harpreet, introduce our next speaker, I'll introduce our next giveaway, and then we'll bring him up and take it from there.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So our next speaker is a good friend of mine. I'm really excited to bring him on stage. He's on a mission to teach people skills to analytical thinkers and bridge the data business gap with emotional intelligence. 10 years ago, he was a professional poker player who spent every day optimizing his decisions based on data and human behavior. Though he doesn't play poker anymore, he is still passionate about psychology and numbers. He's got a background in behavioral economics and uses that theoretical understanding of data and human behavior to understand how interpersonal relationships work in practice. And in the process, he's learned that the main data challenge for companies is not technology, it's interaction between people. Through his training and coaching programs, which is grounded in a human-centric approach, he's helped hundreds of people learn how to ask better questions, communicate with business leaders, and present their results with impact. So please help me in welcoming our speaker, a man who is on a mission to help 100,000 analytical thinkers improve their people skills, the author of People Skills for Analytical Thinkers, my good friend, Gilbert Eikelenboom.
All right. Hello, Gilbert. Welcome to the awards show, man.
Hello, everybody. Thanks a lot for having me, and thanks for organizing. I think it's fantastic you do this.
Awesome. So before I hop off, I know you guys have some plans. I'm going to let people know that we're giving away 2 copies of your book. So in order to participate in the raffle, please type in #MindSpeaking. And Gilbert, speaking of mind speaking, you had some news this morning, right? Or am I wrong? I think I read something in my feed.
Yeah, that's right. So I quit my job, and I'm gonna start as a full-time entrepreneur. The picture with the letter to quit my job is 2 months old, but I'm almost there. So I thought it's about time to post it.
There you go,
Awesome.
man. You gotta take risks, right? If you got one life on this planet, might as well take risks, embrace accountability, and society is gonna reward you with equity and leverage. So, congratulations for that, man.
Thanks
Yes.
a lot. Thanks.
Awesome. So guys, #MindSpeaking. I'm going to hop off and let you guys take it away. And I'll see you in a little bit.
Fantastic. Yeah, because Kate is hopping off, and I'll start to talk. You see that Harpreet is staying. Why? I will let you know soon. But actually, I'm here to give an award. And you might be curious. You might be thinking, hey, Harpreet and Kate are the ones handing out awards, right? But I'm here to tell you I have an award too. And you might be thinking, okay, what is the award about? And how can I win the award? Well, the answer is if you recognize some situations. Because today we're going to play out a data drama, a day in the analytics world. And right now we're going to play a little data drama where Harpreet is the data professional and I'll be the business person. So let's see what happens. Keep your eyes open to see if what you recognize, and also if you think you will also deserve the award that I will tell you about after the play. So, all right. Scene number 1. Harpreet, good to see you. I've been to a conference, a digital conference, and I got very enthusiastic. I got very passionate because I learned everything about artificial intelligence. And what I want you to do is to create a dashboard. I want you to create a dashboard which shows us what type of customers we have at machine learning, at AI, at everything, because that will give the best results. So the question is, when can you have this dashboard ready, Harpreet?
That probably get that to you in like 2 weeks.
2 weeks? I need it tomorrow. Look, Harpreet, this is very important. We're here to make money. And how hard can it be? Just pull that data and just do your magic.
I mean, yeah, I can try, man. I'll do my best. I'll see what I can do for you, man.
Great. Then I'll see the dashboard tomorrow by 4 p.m.
All right, Gilbert, take it away.
All right. So that was scene 1. And if this would be the award for most difficult stakeholder, then I would probably deserve the award. But no, in fact, Harpreet is going to win the award. And I'll tell you what the award is about. Because the award is the most frustrated data professional. And working in data, we're all frustrated every now and then, right? We all know the feeling working with business stakeholders who expect magic, who want results tomorrow, not in 2 weeks, who think it's easy to pull that data, and where everything is urgent. And once you deliver, you notice that they haven't even looked at it. So that's quite frustrating, isn't it? But now, of course, the question is, how can we turn this frustration into something positive? Because as we've seen in the play, that Harpreet did not acknowledge the needs of the business stakeholder. Also, he did not ask any questions to understand what's the real question. And third, also, he was not managing the expectations. He was quite vague, to be honest. So what I use in my training is various strategies and tactics. And one of them is the 3 C's. And the 3 C's stand for connection, curiosity, and clarity. So the first one is connection. As mentioned, Harpreet did not make a connection with me. He did not validate my needs. And that's exactly what you need to do. Before you dive into the content, before you dive into the questions, validate the needs of the other person and say that you're there to help, and say that you see that it's important to that person. Even though he talks a lot of bullshit about AI and machine learning, and this person has no clue what it means, validate those needs. So it starts with connection. Second, curiosity. Ask some questions. Understand what is the need behind the want. Many people say, this is what I want, but is this also what they need? So ask them questions. Third one is clarity. Get clear on what you want to do, and get clear on what is the timeline that will fit. Because you started off positively with a connection, it will also be easier to say no if this is really what is needed. And have confidence, because you know what goes into this. That it's not just pulling that data, 2 minutes of work, right? There's a lot of steps in that. So you might be wanting to say what those steps are high over. So let's see now when Harpreet implements those 3 C's. Let's see what happens. So Harpreet will come back on the stage. Here we go. So Harpreet, listen. The other side now. Listen. I went to a conference and I learned everything about machine learning. It's fantastic. We can do everything. And right now, I really want to have this dashboard to see what our customers are like. And all these different baskets, a clustering. Let's do it. So when can you have this dashboard ready?
Yeah, man. Well, hey, right on, dude. I think that's really awesome that you're super excited about doing this ML AI stuff. Like, so am I, man. I couldn't agree more with you that getting insights about our customers, that's important for our business, and it's important for you to do your job. I want to be able to help you as best as I possibly could. So I'm wondering if I might be able just to ask you a few questions so I can understand what it is that you exactly need from me.
All right. That sounds good.
Yeah, definitely. So, once I get the answers to a few questions, such as, how do we define a customer? Where am I going to get the data? Are we looking for a certain number of clusters? We could start there and build off of that. But I think once I get the answers to some core questions like that, I'll probably get this done for you in like 2 weeks, man. No problem.
Well, I appreciate you asking questions, and there's also some other stakeholders you probably need to talk to. So that's good for you to know. But 2 weeks is really too long, man.
I mean, if there's something in particular, something specific that you need to really move the needle right now, I can maybe get something for you tomorrow, but I can't do like an entire dashboard for you and have that done for you by tomorrow. Maybe we could sit down and talk about what it is that you need that we can action on immediately, and we can see if that's manageable. But for this entire dashboard you're talking about, everything from finding the data, building out the pipeline, cleaning the data up and all that stuff, that's going to take me at least 2 weeks. There's a lot of different steps, a lot of moving parts that I need to take, and I want to make sure that I'm, delivering quality work for you, man. So, making sure that we can trust the data and that there's not going to be any type of questions or anything like that. So I'm going to need 2 weeks to do the full thing, but I'm happy to sit and talk with you to see what we can get immediately.
Right. Well, quality is important for me, so let's go for that. Well, as you can see, I clearly cannot give Harpreet the award for most frustrated data professional anymore, because actually Harpreet changed his style quite a bit based on those 3 C's: connection, curiosity, and clarity. And well, communication skills are important in your role as data analytics professional. It's really important. Actually, it makes a difference between being a good data professional and a great data professional. So I really hope you make this transition and keep growing your communication skills, because it's a journey we all need to take. We all need to take, next to the technical skills, we also need to develop good communication skills. So I hope you keep growing them, because that means that next year when we have these awards again, I really hope you keep developing and growing, so you don't win this most frustrated data professional, but instead, turning it around, win the most impactful data professional. So Harpreet won it this time. I hope all of you win it next year. Thank you.
Man, Gilbert, thank you so much. That was really, really awesome and insightful, just to see in action how to respond and things like that. So we talked about the 3 C's, but apart from the 3 C's, are there some other soft skills that you think analytical thinkers should try to develop mastery in?
Yeah, definitely. What I see in the trainings that I do is that a lot of people are a bit frustrated, not just because they are pushed by the business, but also because they have these great insights and great data products, but people are not using it. And the data and the business stakeholders are not listening, and they're not persuaded. So some soft skills that we all need are getting buy-in from stakeholders, persuasion skills, and also data storytelling.
And you talk about all those things right here in your book, right? For at least a good majority of them right here in your book, which we are going to be giving away copies of. We got 2 copies up for grab right here, right now for you guys. Go ahead, tag Gilbert and do hashtag MindSpeaking for your chance to pick up this amazing book, People Skills for Analytical Thinkers. Gilbert, my friend, thank you so much for coming in and giving this presentation to us.
Yes,
Yeah.
Gilbert. That was super awesome. Both of you have amazing acting skills. I think just stop doing the data work, go right to Hollywood. You know, you can get a job. Yeah, Harpreet. I know you're thinking about it. I think that was a really great presentation, and I'm surprised Harpreet, didn't get fired at some point during this during the saying no, I can't get this done. If we can take maybe 1 or 2 questions for Gilbert while we do the giveaway. If you guys have questions, put them in the chat, and we will see what comes up there. Just people saying, great presentation. So thank you for doing this. And while people are putting their questions into the comments, I'm going to go ahead and run the first giveaway here. We're going to click draw and see who's going to win the very first copy of People Skills for Analytical Thinkers. All right. And the winner is Albert.
Hey!
Albert
Bellamy.
Yes, he has gamed the system somehow. No, I'm kidding. Congratulations, Al. You are the first
Albert.
winner. Yes, and there was a question here from Shruti. She's asking, what was the most fun part while making this book?
I think one of the most fun parts was, I'm going to name a few things. Learning a lot while researching the book, meeting a lot of great people along the way, and finally having the book in my hand was an amazing feeling.
And you've been quite successful with the book. It's on its 2nd printing now, right?
Yeah, that's right. Especially in the last weeks, it has been crazy with the sales. Thanks to everyone who's sharing their thoughts and experiences with the book on LinkedIn. A lot of people that I have never heard of, and that's because if you ask, okay, what's the greatest thing after I've published, is to see the responses and to see how it helps people and impacts their lives, and that's the best thing for me. That's why I wrote the book, And that's why I create content on LinkedIn. And that's fascinating to see.
Yeah,
Awesome.
and the lucky winners, they're actually going to get a full color version of your book. So definitely go ahead and put that hashtag mind speaking. Do we have
Yeah,
another
we have.
winner?
We're going to announce one more winner. We'll take another question. We had a question here from George. He's asking, did anything change in terms of communication over Zoom as opposed to in person?
Yeah, definitely a lot has changed, and the majority of it is that we have less context. Of course, we're able to see each other via webcam if you're lucky enough to have a video conference. But of course, you have less information. Therefore, voice becomes much more important. And if you have a very stressful meeting, you don't walk away from it having a small chat afterwards. So it's a good idea to check in with people after a very tough meeting, to check in with your teammates how they feel after that meeting. So maybe they don't feel so good. So have this moment to check and have a short phone call.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you for that. All right. We're going to go ahead and announce our second winner here. Congratulations again to Al. All right. The second winner of the book here is Michael.
All right.
Congratulations. Our very second
Congrats,
winner.
man.
We're going to follow up with you after the show. And Gilbert, thank you so much for being here with us today. Thanks for everyone for hanging out. Yeah, I think we're ready to move on. So Gilbert, congratulations for the book again. I saw your picture, I think, with a lot of books. You were sitting on them or something. I saw that in my feed, so that looked awesome. Good luck with all the sales, and guys, pick up the book. I have the book. I read the book. It's awesome. So definitely go get that.
You can also listen to the interview that Gilbert did with me on the Artists of Data Science podcast that was released probably about a year ago or something like that when you first launched the book. But definitely one of my favorite episodes. Gilbert and I get into the weeds of people skills and emotional intelligence. So you guys definitely check that episode out.
Awesome. All right.
Thank you.
So, thank you so much. Okay. All right, Harpreet, you ready to keep this data party moving?
Absolutely, man. Let's do it.
Okay. And our next award is a blogger. Is that right?
That's right.
All right. Let's go ahead. I'm going to get your screen shared up here.
Yep. So for those guys just joining us, we've gone through a few different awards. We've gone Instagram, Twitter, math and stats tutorial on YouTube, the data science general category on YouTube. We just awarded John Crone with the machine learning and AI. And by we, I mean the community. All of us voted these people in to win their awards. Next category we got up is blogger. All right. So this is a close one, man. These are three people who I love very, very much. They're all good friends of mine. We got Curtis Pikes, Kuyan Tran, and Eric Sims. All of these are artists of data science. You can catch them quite regularly at the Artists of Data Science Happy Hour. Curtis and Kuyan, I'm always talking to those guys offline. But this is a close one, man. This one was pretty close too, if I recall. I think maybe J. Raj or Eric can confirm that, but go ahead and tag who you think the winner of this category is, and we'll give you guys a few seconds here to get that right there into the chat before we reveal the winner to you.
Yeah, and blogging has been so powerful for my career personally. It all started out really when I started blogging about risk management. I had a blog called riskarticles.com. And I was just writing about anything that I came across in the risk management space, anything that really confused me. I would try to kind of dumb it down for myself, all these regulatory compliance and operational risk, all these cool concepts. And what happened was one of the big four consulting companies actually came across the blogs. It was a very simple blog post. I had probably 50 readers a month. I don't know. It was really small.
Wow.
I know, but I was cranking them out. And the recruiter from that company, they're like, we see you're really passionate about risk management and we want to interview you. At that point, I was not looking for a job. I didn't even think I qualified to interview for that kind of position. But it was really blogging that got me noticed. And they really just thought that if I write about this kind of stuff all day for fun, then chances are I'll probably be good at it for work. So yeah, definitely get to blogging if you want to be noticed. It definitely worked for me.
Yeah, man, it's a great medium for you to not only build your brand but learn a topic and teach people at the same time. That's the trifecta, right?
Yeah.
So if you guys are ready, should we go ahead and reveal the winner, Kate?
Yes, yes,
All right,
let's do it.
I'm telling you, this was a very, very tough one. Curtis Pikes, though, man. Curtis Pikes, congratulations, my friend. Curtis is a very good friend of mine, so I'm happy to see him win this award. He's got amazing content. He's pumping out like three freaking articles a week. I remember when he's up to like, I think might be 4,000 followers now on Medium. But
Oh,
I remember coming across his stuff. He only had like 300 or 400 followers, and I was like, dude, this guy writes really, really well. And so I brought him back on to the podcast, and he shared a little bit of his backstory. Believe it or not, Curtis was actually a cult leader at one point in his life, which is interesting. If you guys want to learn more about that story, tune into the podcast and you can hear more. Is Curtis around anywhere?
he just pulled up in the driveway, so he's gonna make his way to to accept his award. Yeah, Curtis's content is definitely great. Oh, there he is now. Let me go ahead and bring him up.
Hey everybody, it's Curtis Pikes here. I just want to say a major thank you to everybody that participated in the votes. A special shout out to those of you that voted for me in particularly. Don't worry, I'm still good with you if you didn't vote for me. It's totally fine. It is just still a bit crazy to me because I can think of so many other bloggers off the top of my head where I'm just like, when I read their work, I'm like, wow, I wish I could write like them. So it means all the more to me. It's also because when I started my blog just over a year ago, there was no way in my mind I was thinking about being voted the data community's favorite blogger. So it means a lot to me and I'm extremely grateful. So thank you to everybody that voted and those who voted for myself. I also want to thank Harpreet and Kate for making this initiative possible. There was no reward system like this in the community until you guys came along and changed everything. So kudos to you guys. Thank you and enjoy the rest of your day.
Congratulations, Curtis, man. Congratulations, man. Couldn't be more happier for you. And I know you did pull up. Kate said you pulled up just right now in the driveway. Just make sure that you're driving on the right side of the road, man, because this we do things a little bit different in America than
He already drove out. It was actually a motorcycle. He's on a motorcycle.
Oh, okay, cool.
Awesome. Well, Harpreet, we have our next speaker backstage, Mr. Morrow. If you want to introduce him, we're gonna go ahead and bring him up.
Let's do it. Let's do it. So our next speaker knows it's no secret that organizations around the world are looking to become more digitally data driven, which begs the question, how? He believes it's by closing the data skills gap and establishing a data-centric culture where we look at the upskilling and respelling of individuals and workforces. He believes that through education and training, organizations can create a culture where everyone has the skills and is encouraged to be curious about data. He's passionate about bringing the human touch to the world of numbers and gets the greatest feeling of satisfaction when he can help people see and understand the power that data and analytics can bring to them in their careers, their businesses, or in their personal lives. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me in welcoming our next speaker, author of Data Literacy, Jordan Morrow.
Mr. Jordan Morrow, welcome to the show, man. Thanks for hopping in here.
That was way too nice an introduction, Harpreet. I can't live up to that. And I don't look anywhere near as good as either of you. Can you hear me okay? Is my sound coming through?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, your sound's great. Your video's great. Jordan,
Perfect.
we're gonna hop off and let you take this away.
Absolutely. So thank you very much. I love when Kate reaches out and Harpreet reach out and ask for some thoughts on a topic that is near and dear to me. And that is the topic that is very near and dear to me is data literacy. But today I wanted to expand on that a little bit. And I'll give a little background of why. So before the pandemic hit, before March of last year, my calendar was really busy with traveling the world, working with organizations, speaking at events, and the stuff I loved. I loved doing it. And it was enjoyable. And then the pandemic hit and shut everything down. And so in my mind, I'm thinking, well, my calendar is going to open up. It's going to get a little less busy. It's going to get better for me. And it was the exact opposite. It got worse and it got busier. And I had more and more meetings come on. I'm not going to share any slides in these 10 minutes. I just want to walk through a few bullet points on what I have found to be things that help organizations to truly transform themselves to become data-driven. And the reason I share the story of the pandemic to begin this is one of the biggest catchphrases and biggest terms that has come out of the pandemic is that term, to be data-driven. What does that even mean for an organization? How does it work? What can they do? And so over the past, no, it's been 14 months since the pandemic hit, and the times that I've spent with organizations, companies around the world talking about it, I find there are a few key pillars that make up what being data-driven is. And then there's a roadmap that I use with organizations to really help them become data-driven. So let's talk about the pillars really quick, very quickly actually. The first one is a sound data strategy. The one thing that I'm finding around the world is that a lot of organizations are not set up, not in a position with their data strategies to be successful. And when I say a data strategy, it ties directly in with the business strategy. For far too long, they've been siloed off. And we need organizations to tap into that world of a data strategy in order for them to be successful. And again, that data strategy has to tap into the business strategy. Next, we do talk about the data and the technology itself. Organizations that want to be data-driven need to be putting forth the resources and effort to make sure that they are getting everything that they need from the data. And you can talk to data scientists, engineers, analysts. A lot of time is spent around cleaning and making sure the data is okay. So we want to make sure that that's happening earlier. Next, we do, and Harpreet just mentioned it, the skill set of the organization. What does the data literacy look like? Where is it? How is it forming? How is it moving? How is it growing? Without that skill set, and I have found this trend to remain even during the pandemic. It doesn't matter how good your data is. It doesn't matter how good your technology is. Those things don't make a difference if your data literacy, the skill set of the organization is weaker than it should be. And so here's a prime example. I was working with a financial institution out of Australia, one of their biggest ones. And I got a call from some reps saying, hey, we need you to talk to them because they want to do a whole RFP. They want to see a proposal. They wanted to compare products. And I basically said, look, if you go about this and sign on a new technology and data, it has nothing to do with your technology and data. It's all fine. Your skill set, your organization is not ready to absorb the data that you're producing. And so it doesn't matter what technology, it doesn't matter what you're invested in. Those things aren't going to make that big a difference until you put in place the right strategy and the right framework to make it happen. And so that right there is one of the key things. And that is a trend I see all the time. We blame the technology, we blame the data. When in reality, I'm not saying we need to blame people. What we need to do is we need to take responsibility that we need to reskill and upskill an organization. The final pillar that I want to talk about is leadership. Leadership has to take on a very supreme role in driving being data-driven, in driving data literacy. Without it, it's not going to sit there very well. It's not going to be successful. You have to have leadership buy-in. I get asked all the time, who should own this? The C-suite, the executives of an organization. So now that we've seen some of these pillars, in the last few minutes, I want to talk more about what can be done. And this is mainly a lot of time I spend with organizations is helping them with this 5-step strategy that I give them to help drive it. Now, this is the backbone. Let's call it the bones of the strategy, the bones of the roadmap, but it's customizable to each organization. And you'll see why as I talk about it. Step number 1. And this is how I get asked this question by organizations and individuals. How can we make it so this is successful? What should we do? Where do we start? And then you can ask them the question, what is the outcome you are actually trying to achieve in data? What are you actually trying to achieve? What are you trying to do? That's step number 1, right? Don't just throw tons of money at data, source it all, and tell your organization, have at it. It's not going to be as successful. So determine number 1, what is the outcome that you are looking to accomplish? That outcome will set the tone. Now, different units and different everything are going to have outcomes. Your data strategy hovers above everything else tied to the business. So you have an outcome to drive it all together. That leads to step number 2. And step number 2 is taking that outcome. What strategy do we need to deploy in the organization to ensure that outcome comes together? I think that's a key thing that we miss is we have an outcome. This is what we want to achieve. And a lot of times, and this goes across business, this goes across life. We want to achieve something, but what goals and plans have we put into place to truly make sure this is successful? Without that true outcome and then strategy to make it happen, we're not going to be there. And that strategy includes who does what, this and that. It can then include step number 3. What technology do we have to invest in to make sure steps 1 and 2 can be accomplished? A lot of times what I've seen historically within organizations is the technology was put in place as step number 1, right? We invest in a software. It could be Tableau, Click, Power BI, Alteryx, whatever it is. We get sold on the brilliance of this software, and then boom, we deploy it, we democratize it, we give it to the masses, and they don't know what to do with it. But now let's reverse engineer this and say, we know the outcome we want to achieve. Whether I've been working a lot lately in the data world in HR of all places, which is a very interesting field if you think about it when it comes to data and analytics. Within HR, they're looking at attrition, hiring practices, et cetera. Okay, so let's set an outcome. Is the outcome you want to lower attrition or you want to improve hiring? Whatever it is, we've got the outcome. The strategy then becomes what data do we need, what technology, et cetera. Step number 4 then becomes the skill set of the organization. Do we have the data literacy, and not just the data literacy, but the technical acumen and the technical capacity to do everything that we want for steps 1 and 2? And then we also have to train everybody on step 3, which is the technology that we've done. So let me reiterate those real quick before I go into a conclusion. Number 1 is the outcome we want. Number 2 is what strategy is going to put it in place. Number 3, the tools and technology that we need. Number 4, do we have the proper skills? Now, one thing I want to add in on the proper skills is that can include the hiring of people. How do we shift this? I was asked one time, multiple times, is it a good idea to make data literacy a requirement for all new hires? Dumb question, ask me. I'm the data literacy guy. The answer is going to be a big fat yes for me, right? But then we dovetail into how do we make that a requirement for hiring? What do we do about everybody that works here? Upskilling and reskilling. This is where I spend a lot of time, is on data literacy initiatives. What skills do we need? Does reskilling, meaning taking someone from one position, shifting their skill set to another, is one way. Upskilling, taking someone in a current position and building it up. Now, step number 5 in this plan is creating a culture of data-informed or data-driven decision-making. Taking everything that we're talking about and saying the reason we use data, the reason we use these tools is to improve our organization's decision-making. That's the end goal. We all should be using data to make smarter, more intelligent decisions. If we're doing that, finding insight, using the 4 levels of analytics, which I talk about all the time, doing these things will lead an organization to truly become more and more data-driven. And it can lead to a fully data-driven organization where data is used in its proper sense. So with that, there goes the 10 minutes very quickly. Connect with me. I'm on LinkedIn. I think we have some chat things happening here. Hopefully everything is happening. But thank you so much for the opportunity, Harpreet and Kate, and the chance to share some thoughts here.
Jordan, man, thank you so much. Really, really important topics. As you know, I'm going through a kind of a situation at work where I'm leading the charge on a data management or data strategy type of initiative, and it's been quite challenging. One of the things that I'm currently working on at work is this idea. Like what we did was we went through and did interviews with a bunch of different stakeholders across the organizations, asked them kind of a templated set of questions, and just to kind of assess their needs and requirements as it pertains to data. And you know, we're taking the results of those interviews and now we're having to do a current state assessment. So for somebody like me who's in that position where, you know, a company kind of sees the value of getting their data handled, getting their data managed, and now they have to do like this current state assessment, like what tips do you have for me? This is completely selfish, just because I'm stuck and I don't know what to do. So I'm hoping you might be able to help me out here.
What the one thing I would say is when you're doing all these interviews, take the cap off, take the top off of the organization to assess where are people comfortable with data. Like, so for me, you're going to hear requirements, you're going to hear all these things, but there should be an illumination for you on where are people's data literacy skills. Do they have a clue what they're asking for? Do they even know why they're asking it? Are they asking it in an appropriate manner? All of these things. So Harpreet, what I would say is use the assessments that you're taking, the questions that you're saying, and say, okay, so they get it a little bit. How can we tie this then to the 4 levels of analytics? I always come back to this. Most organizations are going to be stuck regardless, even if they get that they want to use data, they're going to be stuck at descriptive analytics. Where we want to get them, of course, is diagnostic analytics. Through the questions and the assessment that you've taken, take a moment, take a day, just jot notes down and say, I talked to this person. The vibe I got from this person was XYZ. The vibe I got from this leader was ABC. Then find the trends within your own organization that say, we're good at this. Most organizations are good at descriptive analytics. We're not good at finding insight. We don't know how to translate good questions around data, etc. That's what I would do, because what the data management side will fall into place regardless. So what you're doing from a data management, quality, the sourcing, all of that, that's going to be done from the technical capacity. Where you're really going to get your organization to take off is through that decision-making process. Do they know how to ask questions of data? Does it tie back to the business? Do they know how to find insight? And through the questions you're asking, you hopefully are able to glean some of that information out and maybe re-ask some questions. Just go back to people and say, I have a follow-up. What about XYZ? And that could help open it up even more.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, so Jordan, great job. Thank you so much for your presentation. First, I would just want to let people know that if they want to be data literate, they can check out your book. So guys, you can go on Amazon, pick up Be Data Literate. As you were speaking, I always think about people and organizations are always trying to become data literate, right? And I think they're all thinking of some sort of finish line. I see you have a lot of medals in the background. I know you run marathons and ultra marathons, and there's a finish line, so when this is going to be over. In data literacy, do you see it similarly where you have this finish line, or do you see this as more of an ongoing journey where you're always trying to become more data literate?
There's never an end. And I think I get asked that. How do I know when I'm data literate? You're never there. There's more that I'm learning all the time in data literacy, right? And I'm as nerdy as they come, Kate. You know this. But I'm relating it to the medals. You'll find with me, you're right. In a certain race, I will finish that race, but my race is never over, right? I'm on to the next adventure. I'm on to the next mountain to summit. I'm on to the next race. It's the same thing within data literacy, right? You might want to know, let's go from a statistical perspective. How does an A/B test work? You can learn that. That can be a finish line, but then there needs to be the next progression. And so there's never going to be an end to this. Technology is always advancing. Tools are becoming better. Concepts are being discovered. The key to me is being that lifelong learner. And I know we hear that all the time, but in data and analytics, it couldn't be more true. Where I started data literacy 6 years ago to where it is now, vastly different. There are so many new concepts in there, so many different things. So I would say it's the same thing within data literacy.
Awesome. And we got Ravit saying, let's be data literate with Jordan Morrow. Is
Thanks,
there
Ravit.
anyone else? Thank you.
Yeah, definitely congrats on that book. I'm looking forward to getting you on the podcast at some point in the near future. Please do send me a copy of that book. I think I can
Absolutely.
find it kind of beneficial. Jordan, thank you so much.
All right,
Yes,
thank you,
Jordan, thank you so much. We're going to keep this data party moving. So have a good rest of your day and hope you can, stick around for the rest of the sessions. All right, Harpreet, you ready for more awards?
I'm ready.
We got a lot of awards to give out here.
Yeah, we're about halfway through it. Shout out to everybody
Yes.
who's sticking with us. Shout out to everybody hanging out. Appreciate you guys spending your day, morning, evening, afternoon, whatever time of day it is with us. Let's continue with the awards.
Yes. So right before we get to the next two awards, I just want to quickly let you know we do have another giveaway. I'll announce it now and we'll give it away after the award. But the hashtag to use for this one is hashtag Manning if you want to enter the raffle. And we're basically giving away a book from Emily Robinson and Jacqueline NOLIS. And the book is Build a Career in Data Science. I couldn't think of a better book for the audience here because I think a lot of you are on that journey to either becoming a data scientist or maybe growing your career in this space. So definitely just put in hashtag Manning, and I'm going to go ahead and remove this from the screen, but keep putting in that hashtag Manning if you want to enter the raffle for the book.
Yeah, definitely a good book. I highly recommend checking it out, even if you don't win the award. It's a great book. I see KRISH NAIK's out there in the chat. Shout out to KRISH NAIK. He just recently won that award for the
Oh, there he is.
channel. Yeah, for
Look at
Data
that.
Science General. Yeah, super happy to have you here, KRISH. Thanks for joining us. So what have we given away so far in terms of awards? We've done the Instagram, Twitter, YouTube Math and Statistics, Machine Learning and AI on YouTube, Data Science General on YouTube, and we recently just finished up with Curtis's award, which was the blogger.
Yes.
Next up, we're going to Kaggle and GitHub. So let's go ahead and pull up the screen here.
There you go.
So again, Curtis Pikes, he was just awarded the best blogger from the community. Next up, we're going to talk about Kaggle. So Kaggle is I mean, Kenji here again, man. Kenji's he's been nominated for a lot of categories. I mean, hasn't won one yet. Ken, hopefully we get you something soon here. Oh, actually, I just noticed that Ken was in the
Yeah, Ken's right here.
Ken.
Congratulating KRISH. Look at Ken.
Yeah,
He
man,
said it's
Ken.
a bit early for him, but he made it to the show. So thanks for joining us, Ken.
Yeah, Ken, got an episode with you releasing on the Artists of Data Science this Friday. So tune into that. Had a really great conversation with Ken. Can't wait to share that with you guys. Tune in on Friday. But right now we're giving out the Kaggle Award. Kaggle is interesting, man. I remember when I first was making that transition from, I was just a regular old statistician before I moved into data science. And I heard about Kaggle and I was like, what is this? It sounds so freaking weird. Kaggle. And then I went on there and then just seeing the vast amount of data and competitions. I've never seen anything like it. And then I knew that there's there's these things called Kaggle Grandmasters and people like rank, and it's like they gamify it. And I was like, dude, data science is insane. And I mean, Kaggle, not much like the real world, but really fascinating, interesting stuff. And our finalists for this award, we've got Parul Pandey, Abhishek Thakur, and Kenji. So go ahead and tag it right there in the chat. Who do you think won this award? We'll let that go for a few seconds here. Kate, have you ever done like a Kaggle competition?
No, but I get asked quite often if Kaggle is a good place for people to go, because when you apply for a job, they want to see, do you have any project experience? Have you done any type of any type of work in data science, machine learning? And a lot of times people think of Kaggle as a good place to go and practice those skill sets. I know I've heard of those grandmasters before, the Kaggle grandmasters, and I got to say that's really, really cool. I think one of the best ways I've seen Kaggle was being used, I forget the company, but they ran some sort of competition. It might have been Netflix, maybe I'm wrong, but there was a competition of who's going to improve the recommendation system the most or something like that, or who's going to do the best job. And the winner got, I think, a cash prize and potentially a full-time gig with the company. I could have some of those details wrong, but I thought that was a really, really great way for people to get together. I'm all about building the community. So I think Kaggle is really helping that community get together, work in teams, work individually, and participate in these competitions.
Yeah, definitely all about building that community too. So happy to have all you guys here. I think we had at one point 80 people were joining us on this live stream when I checked. So do us a favor, guys, reshare this on your LinkedIn feeds. Let's build this community bigger and stronger. I'd love to see 125 people in this thing. But by the time we get through this, so help us make this event massive. But for right now, we're going to go and see who the winner of this category is.
All right, go for it.
None other than Abhishek Thakur. Congratulations, Abhishek. Abhishek is a very difficult man to get a hold of, so we do not have a video coming in from him. If you guys see him around, let him know that he won. I mean, he's already like a 18-time Kaggle Grand Wizard. But yeah, he's got some stuff on there. I just noticed he's doing like a panel discussion in the coming days with 4 other Kaggle Grand Masters or Kaggle champions. So definitely check it out. Should be interesting. Shall we go on and move to the next category, Kate?
Almost. First,
Yeah.
Congratulations, Abhishek. I want to quickly do the giveaway for the Manning for one of the books. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and draw. So this is for build a career in data science. The winner of this book is going to be, and guys, we're going to give one more book away for this giveaway after the next award. So definitely put hashtag Manning if you want to enter. Honor, congratulations.
Awesome.
Going to follow up with you after the show to make sure you get this book. Harpreet, you ready?
Yeah, definitely. Just a heads up, guys, the books from Manning, we got giveaways from Pact as well. So thank you to the community sponsors. Those are going to be ebooks. So you get an ebook code that you can go use to download that book. So yeah, let's go ahead and move on to the next one.
Yes, and while you prep for that, Shruti's recommending a Clubhouse section as well. I think for the next one, we should talk about adding Clubhouse.
I mean, is Clubhouse still a thing? People still?
I don't know. Is
Yeah.
it? I went in there the first week, and it kind of went in and out, and then I kind of stopped. But
I mean,
yeah.
GitHub is the next category we're talking about. GitHub is instrumental for all of us as data scientists, right? This is where we go to build our portfolios, show off our portfolios. Also, when you're on the job, you know, we're typically using GitHub or GitLab or what have you to collaborate with our teammates, but you know, primarily as a social media tool, GitHub's a great way for us to showcase our abilities and just let employers know what we're capable of doing. We had some pretty strong votes here. We had some great runner-ups and finalists here. So go ahead and tag right there in the chat who you think is going to win this category. I'm excited to see the result of this one. Kate, what are your thoughts on GitHub? I like this like the little logo is interesting. It's like a cat with like tentacles or something. What can somebody let me know what kind of animal that is? Like what is the
It looks
GitHub?
like it's a cat, maybe with the tail or a hand up. I always thought it was a hand, but now I'm thinking it's more of a tail. Yeah, I mean, GitHub is just it's a part of life, right? You got to use GitHub if you're sharing code. I actually heard that GitHub, you can also use it to find talent. So for those looking for, you know, a data scientist or something, you can go on GitHub and see who's been pushing the most code out or giving other people updates and helping out in the community. Eric says that this is an octocat.
Yes, that's yeah, because when you look at the other, like the more filled out version of this logo, that hand thing has like tentacles on it, but the octocat makes sense.
Well, Robert says it's a cat with a tail, so you know.
Yeah.
Close enough. So let's see, who are people thinking going to win? We've got Eric Sims, we've got Koyan Tan. Eric Sims for all the awards. Wow, Al's got a Eric Sims crush over here. I love this. Koyan Trend here. All right, I think. Oh yeah, we got another one saying it's an octocat. So
yeah, man, Eric's a good friend of mine. I have not been to his GitHub. Eric, I'm sorry, man. I got to check your GitHub out at some point. I need to see what's on there, man. But the winner of today's award, you guys have voted for. Is it frozen?
Yeah.
Oh,
There it is.
no! What happened? It was Stefan Jansen. So Stefan Jansen as the favorite creator in the category of GitHub. If you guys are into algorithmic trading, his GitHub is, you know, where you go for that. So if you want to learn how to trade algorithmically, take risks, invest your capital, and learn how to make money, that's probably where you should go.
Yeah,
so,
I actually interviewed Stefan, I believe it was last year. We were talking about his book, Machine Learning for Algorithmic Trading. Also, one of my most popular sessions. I thought it was going to be, you know, it's a little bit more technical, the book, the topic, but the audience, oh my God, they were super engaged. So many questions. We literally couldn't get to like 10% of them.
wow.
That's how many questions we had on the topic. Yes. People thought that they'll join the session, they'll learn a little bit and go make so much money on the stock market. So that was really funny. Yes.
So do we have Stefan? Is he around? Is he gonna accept the award at all? Or what's going on here, Stefan?
He's running up the stairs as we speak. Harpreet.
Oh, all right.
Let me go. Oh, he's knocking as well. Hold on.
Hey, I'm Stefan, and I just learned that I won an award for my GitHub repository, the one that accompanies my book on machine learning for trading. I really would like to thank the organizers for including this award, and of course for everybody who has voted for it. In addition, I'd also thank to everybody who has shown an interest in the repository over the last year or so. By now, I think it has over 4,000 stars, and for a very short period, it was actually one of the most popular repositories on all of GitHub, at least for Python. So that's great. If you haven't checked it out yet, you can find it quite easily under my name, Stefan-Jansen on GitHub, and it's called Machine Learning for Trading. And there's a bunch of different examples, on how you can use machine learning for trading, backtest strategies, and so forth. So, hop over and take a look, and I hope you find it useful. Thanks, everybody, and have a great day.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Yes, huge congratulations. All right. Before we move forward, I'm going to announce the final winner of the hashtag Manning of that book. So let me go ahead and quickly draw this so we can get our second and final winner here. All right. I hope you guys are having fun. Let us know in the comments what has been the most surprising thing in this event so far. All right, Anor.
He won already.
Wait, he won the first?
Yeah.
Hey, Anor, you're totally gaming the system. We're going to have to run this again while the confetti is still falling. I spoke to StreamYard. They said you might have multiple winners. Not sure if it has anything to do with people putting in the hashtag more than once.
All right.
There you go.
Hi. All right. So send us a message because I don't know if I'll be able to easily find you on LinkedIn, Chi, but congratulations. You've won yourself a copy, an electronic copy of Building a Career in Data Science.
All right. Well, Harpreet, I'm not going to say who, but we have our next guest backstage. So I'm going to go ahead and let you introduce this guest.
Absolutely. So our next speaker has a passion for solving business use cases and exploring their intersection with the world of artificial intelligence. He's the head of global expansion of Amazon's private brands through safety and compliance, where he uses technology to collaborate with fellow data scientists, software engineers, and business intelligence engineers to leverage machine learning and big data analytics to design predictive models that enhance business decision-making and performance to accelerate growth. His passion, curiosity, and eagerness to learn how new technology affects our daily lives has led to his love of supporting communities on their quest to adopt artificial intelligence across industries. So please help me in welcoming our next speaker, a man who, if given a chance to do it all over again, will become a sci-fi scriptwriter, one of the 2021 LinkedIn top voices for data science, my good friend, Greg Coquillo.
Awesome. Greg, welcome to the show. Very, very excited to have you here. And I absolutely love the topic that you're going to talk about today, that how to be an effective employee from day one. Once I saw that topic come in, I'm like, wow, this is going to be really powerful.
Yeah, thank you so much. After an introduction like this, Harpreet, I mean, do I still need to talk about anything at this point?
Yes, man. We would love to hear from you, man.
I appreciate you guys pulling me in for a talk like this. It's so important to get this right when you start a new job. So I was thinking about this the other day. So I was jotting down a few notes about what makes a new hire effective. How do they go about this? So I have about 9 to 10 tips that will help you get you going. So bear with me here because it's going to feel like I'm going all over the place. First of all, you want to take some time to breathe. You made it through, so it's not the time to prove yourself. Let your manager do the work for you. Spread the word that I've hired somebody. It's already assumed that if you got in, it means you qualify for the job at the highest level. You are able to showcase that you have parity with the company's culture. So take your time to digest this new reality and start thinking about what are the next steps. So which leads us to exactly that, the next step. You want to make sure you set up your 90-day deliverables with your manager. What are the expectations? How will you be measured with these deliverables? Are you expected at 90 days to be able to write a report on the most pressing issues in your department? So you have to figure this one out. The next critical step too is, by the way, no necessary order of completion of these tasks, but I want you to think about it holistically so you can be as effective as possible. You want to make sure you gather the list of your stakeholders. To me, a stakeholder is either someone who's helping you with your goals. You have shared goals with them. You on your projects, you work with them, or also the people who are affected by your role, the projects you work on. So these could be internal or external. So you want to gather these lists, and which leads us to the next thing. You want to start setting up calls, introducing yourself to these stakeholders. This is something that's a little bit easier for internal stakeholders. So what you want to do is make sure you tell them simply what you're in for. What is your role about? You want to make sure you ask them as well whether they have the same understanding of about your role, because sometimes there could be confusions, there could be changes upon hiring in terms of role. You want to make sure that you talk less about yourself. It's about time to learn about what they do, what the projects they work on. Are these projects, are you going to be affected by them? Can you share goals with them inside of these projects they're working on? One of the key things you want to extract from them as well is learn their communication skills. Some people are very quick in responding if through a ping or through an email, or just set up a phone call with them. You want to learn and understand what are your stakeholders' way of moving through communication in that case. Now, that leads us to the next tip, which is setting the tone in communication. Now, for communication, especially via email, you want to make sure how you communicate things in a very structured manner. You want to set the tone about your mode of spreading words, spreading some news. You want to be clear and concise in your emails. You want to be able to block your calendar as well for not responding at a certain time. Those are the kind of thing that you want to make sure people know from the get-go, because you will be pulled into hours of work that you might not necessarily agree to, or it might not work with your current lifestyle. So you want to make sure you set the tone in that sense. Another thing you need to move on to, you want to fix the easy stuff quickly. So when you join a company, you will come across a lot of busy people, and busy people often find it hard to tackle the easy to handle solutions. So these small problems, there are oftentimes easy solutions for them. An example is a Python script you can help build to gather, I can say, data sheets from different groups into under one roof. And you use that Python script to automate and send a report to everyone to consume. So in this case, you're already helping delivering value by providing help in that sense. And that ought to get people's attention when you're able to fix those quick nagging issues that nobody really addresses, but ran through the motion of dealing with it as part of their daily job. So you're already making your presence known in that sense. Another critical piece, you want to learn to deep dive into your role. This is a critical piece because you want to start documenting how you understand this world that you're joining right now. Learn what made those before you successful, and what they tried that they weren't successful in. Now, this is more pertaining to a role where somebody else was there before you. If it's a newly created job, therefore, you may have a little bit more room to try different things. So you want to make sure you align with your manager on how much risk can be taken in trying these new things. And you want to make sure also when you try these new things, you always employ a two-way door when in decision making for those, so you don't get stuck with one decision when you try these new things. You're seen as the outside set of eyes as the newcomer, so you have a little bit of leg room to explore things that people never had time to think about that you are able to bring to the table. Another aspect, you want to start, to me, it's one of the good things that I live by. Think professional and personal growth at day one. What you want to do there is talk to your manager about the scope of your role and responsibilities. What kind of projects are you working on right now, or can you work on, or can you propose to work on that will move the needle? You want to set the cadence for one-on-one in terms of career development with your manager. You want to surface gaps where you haven't met before. You want to surface those areas that you need to improve. You want to surface the areas that really matters to your manager in your department that you will need to focus on to bring change in a positive way. On the personal level, continue to learn from external sources. That's what keeps you sharp. That's what brings ideas to the group constantly. It's a personal growth perspective. You may or you may not do it, but I find it very useful when I tap into a lot of the resources on the outside, and then I bring in a crazy idea that people look at me like I'm crazy sometimes. But at the end of the day, when I bring in data to this crazy idea, most people are open to hearing it and moving forward with these ideas. So stay fresh, keep the mind fresh. It's all about keep staying updated. The last one for me is probably the most important. Early on, when you get hired, you have to decide between vertical and horizontal breadth. We always feel like we're in a hurry to prove ourselves when we get hired. And we tend to turn into the jack of all trades very fast by taking on too many things. And now you get, this is what I call horizontal breadth. You become not necessarily an expert in one of the things, but you become knowledgeable on everything. I'm fixing just about everything. You become the person everyone goes to when there's an error. Now, I'm not saying this is bad or wrong, but you have to decide with regards to what makes you happy, what makes you feel fulfilled. In becoming the jack of all trades, you're knowledgeable about many things. You're helping others move their needles. If you feel satisfied about that, decide so early on, because you may get disappointed that being knowledgeable in certain positions at everything doesn't necessarily move the needle, but removes obstacles for others who are working on big projects. Now, this is breadth of horizontally. Vertical piece is where you want to focus on one thing, one area, and sometimes this area has a high reward potential. And however, there are little room to move to the next department or the next position when you take a vertical breath inside of that area. So in this case, do you want to be the single subject matter expert in a computer vision model that is being built? Or do you want to know a little bit more about the end-to-end pipeline, where you understand how to work with different groups, whether it's a data engineer or an ML engineer or software engineers? So you decide. Most of people on the business side, they would be the ones focused on exactly that. The business, it would take an effort to go to the other side to focus on learning a little bit of everything inside of the data science realm. But if you are in part of a data science group, you'd have to decide where you want to be. Then if you want to focus on one area, focus on it. Make sure that what you focus on, your manager is aligned with it, and that what you're focusing on, the roadmap that you build for what you're focusing on is in fact moving the needle, which will take you to the next level. With that, the last thing I can leave you with is have fun. Your 90-day period is allowing you time to breathe and learn the new job and understand what make people tick, what make people move, and also understand how everyone around you work, how it makes sense with regards to what you're working on. I find that those who understand the big picture, how this flywheel turns, are very successful. And I may not forget one thing too. While you do this, this is your time to train yourself on how to become a very good detective. Oftentimes you hear a lot of people saying, oh, as a data scientist, we want you to be knowledgeable about the business. You'll hear some of us say it's not necessarily true. If you have experience in a certain industry, that's very good. But if you are a very good detective, if you know how to ask the right questions, you'll get to the answers faster. The people who are experienced with asking the right questions are the ones who are capable of creating or proposing critical solutions to nagging problems. So all you need is a champion on the business side who can be there to answer the questions for you. So instead of focusing on, oh, I need business knowledge to be a good data scientist, focus on, I need to understand the good practices of discovering the business pain points. I need good practices on discovering what's not working on the business side, or I need the best practice on how to ask the right questions to get to the end user pain point and work backwards to find the solution. I hope that's all I have. I hope this will be useful to you. If you're embarking in a new position today, I say congratulations, and I wish you the best of success. And I'm happy again to be here. Thanks again, Kate and Harpreet, for allowing me to talk about this.
Absolutely, Greg. Thank you so much for being here. I absolutely love the presentation. And I think the tips that you shared here are absolutely applicable to everyone who is starting their job today. But even if you're 5 years into your current position, I think take all these tips and really apply them. What really resonated with me is the keep learning. I feel like that's why I'm in this space, because things continuously keep changing. Companies are innovating, and you always have to stay on top of all these new initiatives. We do have some questions and comments from the audience, but first, Harpreet, thoughts on that presentation?
Yeah, man, great presentation as always. Absolutely love that. So many good takeaways there. My favorite part was just that you mentioned something about just blocking off time in your calendar, let people know that these are the times where I'm, doing my thing. Please refrain from scheduling meetings during this time. That's super key. And I think as a new employee, you might come into a company and just think that you always have to make yourself available, but it's actually okay for you to say, you know what, these are like the hours where I tend to work and focus the most. So I'm blocking them off. If there's emergencies, definitely, put them on, let me know, but I'd like to reserve this time for myself. I definitely love that point. And then it reminded me the breadth versus depth, like the concept, was a hedgehog and fox kind of concept there. I like that a lot. With some great questions in the chat here. I see this one coming up from Nima. Kate, if you can pull that up.
Yeah, let's get into it. All right. As a new hire, what were your obstacles?
Great question. So for me as a new hire, one of my obstacles, you may not have thought about this, is I was trained totally online. I never had a chance to be in a room with people whom I work with. So it was quite a new experience for me to be able to book people's calendar, to introduce myself via a monitor. And also when I had to ask questions about understanding my area of work, I had to set a calendar invite to with my manager or anybody else who might be knowledgeable. So that was quite the challenge for me, which kind of slowed down how fast I can learn about things, because you'd want to walk to somebody's office to ask quick questions and go. I couldn't do that. So that was one of the obstacles, which in turn caused me to a delay in terms of understanding the big picture of how my department works, because you want to get the big picture as fast as possible so you can understand how you are contributing to the bigger goal.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've got a lot of comments here, like what Harpreet was talking about, that depth versus breadth comparison. You've definitely made everyone think, including Kenji, about the breadth. And looks like, yeah, Christina as well said her too. So you definitely got people thinking. We have time for one more question here from George. And the question is, what do you think you'll be focusing on in 10 years?
That is loaded. So, so a couple of things I'll be focusing on, I think, in the next 10 years. Follow the data. I'll be following the data. The data will move outside of this planet. I'm going to sound crazy. I dream about the first data center on the moon. I dream about us being able to make AI seamless in the background. So those are the things that I will be following, whether I create a product that help people's lives or help people get more effective at what they do, or help somebody else create a product to do the same. This is where I think I will be. So in other words, I'll be following the data wherever it goes.
Awesome. I know that's a really difficult question. Personally, I don't know what I'll be focused on 10 months from now. So, and that's a fact. That's the full honest truth here. I do not think that far ahead, although I am trying. But yeah, Scott says, #follow the data. I love it. Can't wait to see those data warehouses on the moon. So that's going to be cool. All right. Well,
Yeah.
Greg, thank you so much for the presentation. Harpreet, anything else before we move on?
You can catch Greg most Fridays at the Artists of Data Science happy hour. So definitely come and check him out. There's a regular. Absolutely love having him there. Greg, thank you so much, man, for doing this and giving us that amazing presentation. Definitely a lot to take away, whether you're a brand new employee or, like Kate mentioned, 5 years on the job. So thanks again, man.
My pleasure. Thank you both to you, and thank you for the audience. Appreciate it. It's an honor.
Awesome. All right, Harpreet, let's move this thing along and go on to I'll introduce the giveaway, and then we're going to do the next award. So the giveaway here is actually from Pact. So in order to participate, all you have to do is put #Pact in the comments. And the book we're giving away is called Clean Code in Python. So if you want to win a copy of the Clean Code in Python book, we're going to do 2 giveaways for this one. So #Pact. Pact's a great supporter. Ravit Jain is just doing an amazing job at just helping everyone in the community in any way he can. So go ahead and #Pact, tag Ravit, let him know we're thinking of him as well. Oh, and guess who's the first one who typed in #Pact? I love it. All right, I see Jen's here. Anur, you're a lucky one. You're probably going to win both books again. So.
And guys, help us spread the word. Remember, I want to see at least 125 people on this live stream. So we know we're quite a ways away from that. So share this, tag your friends, tag your wife, tag your husband, tag your kids, tag everybody.
Yes, let LinkedIn know we're doing this Data Content Creator Award ceremony thing.
Yeah, I'm ready for the next category if you are, Kate.
Yep, I'm definitely ready. Let's do this.
All right. So just as a reminder, the last award we gave out was the community's favorite GitHub user. That was Stefan Jensen. Next, we're going to talk about the favorite podcast category. All right. So the favorite podcast category, we got George Farrakhan, Kenji, and Ravit Jain, all good friends of mine. This is going to be a tight one, man. This is really going to be a tight one. I mean, we got to shout out to, Super Data Science, Carol Eremenko, really paving the way with their podcast. That was like the first data science podcast I've come across. I mean, there's so many good data podcasts out there. One I just recently learned about was the Learning Bayesian Statistics podcast. Me, just being a Bayesian by nature and philosophy, that was an amazing podcast. And there's Humans of Data Science, there's Data Skeptic, there's even Jacqueline Nolis has her podcast, Building a Career in Data Science. There's so many great
Artists
podcasts
of Data Science. I mean,
that's that's a decent one. It's
you
all
should
right.
be up there, Harpreet. Glad you can't win awards.
Yeah. I mean, it's so amazing. Kate, what are some of your favorite podcasts?
Yeah, I'll definitely tell you a little bit about my podcast journey. While I do that, guys, let us know who you think is going to win this one. Is it George? Is it Ken? Is it Ravit? Type that in the comments. I still remember my very first podcast interview that I was on as a guest, and I almost canceled last minute. So this guy is like, "Hey, I'm starting a podcast. I think you'd be a great person for the show." And this is when I was just kind of entering the space of online communication and posting. And I was so nervous that I almost said no. It was like 10 minutes before, and I'm like, I'm just gonna cancel this. What can I possibly add that hasn't been said before? I'm not an expert, but I ended up doing it because that's just, I like to do the hard things. And for me, that was a hard thing. It was just putting myself out there. I didn't know what he was gonna ask me. He was a beginner as well. He was just starting his first podcast. I was his first guest. But after that, I'm like, oh wow, this was fun. And after that, I basically just kept hopping around. And anyone who wanted me on the podcast, I was like, yeah, sure, let's do it. This is fun. But it did take me that one try to get it right. I'm just checking to see who can. All right, my comments went crazy. People are typing this in. Ken thinks it's going to be Ravit. Al thinks it's going to be Ken. Let's see. People are just typing in #packed. George thinks it's Ravit or Ken. I love this. This community is awesome. Christine is just saying, so many good ones to choose from.
Yeah.
And Robert recommends Data Imposters as a podcast.
Nice.
I've definitely heard of those.
So many good things, so much good content, man.
Yeah.
So should we reveal the winner here?
Reveal the winner, man. Let's do
All
this.
right, let's go. Let's do it. And the winner is Ravit Jane. Congratulations, Ravit.
Congratulations, Ravit.
Congratulations. The data community has awarded you their favorite podcast / talk show. I know Ravit's in the chat.
Actually, his plane just landed, and I could see him outside my window.
Oh, live and direct from Mumbai.
He flew all the way to New York to say thank you to you guys. So let's hear from Ravit. Ravit, come join us.
All right, guys, I'm here to quickly thank you guys for nominating the Ravit Show under Category 7, the best talk show. This wouldn't have been possible without your love and support, because you guys are the real content lovers and we are just the creators. But thank you very much again, Kate Strachny and Harpreet Sauta, for organizing such a fantastic event. And it always motivates us as content creators to create more and more for the data community, and this wouldn't have been possible without the data community, obviously. So thank you very much again to all the fellow content creators, because you guys are fantastic, and please keep creating what you're doing. And also do not forget to watch the Ravit Show, guys. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Oh, look, his plane is taking off now. All right, Ravit, thanks for stopping by.
Congratulations, Ravit, man. Super excited for you, man. I know you've been working really hard on that podcast, and it's great to see you taking off. So yeah, we've got, man, I can't believe we made it this far already, Kate. So we've got 3 more awards to give out. We've got the best author for instructional and technical, got the best author for popular audience, then we got the LinkedIn personality. We've also got 3 more speakers, and I believe we might have a speaker coming up really soon. Are we going to do the speaker first, or are we going to do a giveaway first?
We're going to do the giveaway first, and then we're going to go ahead and bring on our next guest speaker. All right?
All right.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. So #pack. This, again, is for the pack book. We're going to select 2 winners here, and the book is Clean Code in Python. I mean, who doesn't want to have clean code in Python, right? So #pack to participate. And congratulations to Chandra Kanta. I hope I said that right. That is our very first winner. Congratulations. I'm going to go ahead and draw the second winner right away again here. Let's see who's going to be our second lucky winner. And the winner is... I thought it was going to be Chandra again. Kurt Drummond. All right. Congratulations. We're going to make sure to follow up with you after the session and make sure you guys get those books from Pact. Thank you, Pact, again for being an awesome partner.
All right. Let's go ahead and introduce our next speaker, Kate.
All right. Go.
So our next speaker uses data and technology to learn about the world. She's super passionate about sharing knowledge to inspire others to continuously learn, develop, and improve their skill sets. She's an accountant by formal education, but once she was introduced to data and analytics, she was hooked and on the move. She's an end-to-end data specialist who has experience in data government, data management, data literacy, data visualizations, as well as the sexy, sciencey, advanced topics like enterprise analytics and data science. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me in welcoming our next speaker. She's here to give us our dose of nerd nourishment, Monica K. Royal.
Hello. So glad to be here, guys. Thank you so much for having me on.
Super excited to have you here.
Yes, we're really, really great to have you here. I'm really looking forward to your presentation. And again, I absolutely love the nerd nourishment phrase. Very creative, very unique.
Thank you.
All right, we're gonna hop off the stage, let you take it away. And those in the audience, feel free to ask questions. We'll take those after the presentation.
All right. Being the big nerd that I am, I have slides. So we are going to talk about how to learn all the things data style. And one word term that's been thrown around is, I don't know how to change my slides. Are they changing?
Let's see. It's working now. I see it.
Okay.
Continuous learning.
Okay. So continuous learning, sorry about that, technical difficulties. So continuous learning, what that is basically means that you're learning something new every day. Formal definition being the concept of always expanding your knowledge to gain new skills and expertise. And for businesses, it's really about encouraging employees to steadily learn by providing them with the tools and that facilitate this type of learning. So how do you get into continuous learning? Well, you really just need to start. There's nothing really more to it. I understand that this really is the hardest part. And some people, they try to get their ducks in a row and they try to really wait for something magical to happen. But I'll let you know that you'll just spin your wheels if you do that here. So just dive into the deep end and have some fun. One fun fact is that it was predicted that last year, by year 2020, that about 1.7 megabytes of new information will be created every second for every human being on the planet. Now, if you're new to the data community, I know this is super intimidating because there is a lot of data to learn here. But I'm going to give you some tips here. First off being, don't be intimidated. It's a super fun community, very supportive community, lots of really fun and exciting things to learn. Another thing is just remember that you don't really have to learn all of the things at once. There's too much to learn in the first place. So kind of look around, figure out what you're interested in and learn that one thing. And then also remember that Google does exist. So there's a lot of professionals out there that think that they have to learn everything off the top of their head, but I Google things every day, all day, and it's completely fine and an appropriate way to learn new things. Another fun fact here is that we actually submit 40,000 search queries every second just on Google alone, which amounts to 1.2 trillion searches yearly. So if you're already a data professional in the data community, you know that this is a big deal. And data is constantly changing, constantly evolving, new technologies coming out on a daily basis. So some tips here, if you're learning, you really want to build upon the experiences that you have already to really strengthen that foundation that you have. And just to do that, you want to practice this continuous learning. Now you might be scratching your head thinking, Monica, I still don't really know where I'm supposed to start. So I'll give you some resources here. The first being, this is a very short list of what are considered massive open online courses. There are tons of platforms available that give you courses in pretty much any data topic or any topic that you can imagine. If you'd rather learn from a tutorial perspective, 2 platforms that I've used previously are called Mode and w3schools.com. And these are more sandbox type areas where you can build tables, build queries, and learn in that type of manner. And then, as we've mentioned before, there's some competition sites, the most famous one called Kaggle, where you can go on and solve some pretty cool business problems. And if you do well, you can win some prizes. So that's pretty neat too. If you're more into reading books, articles, or blogs, there's a really famous blog called Medium, and they have a section called Towards Data Science that has a lot of very valuable data resources. And then there's also publishers, 2 really famous ones being O'Reilly and Impact, that have data science resources available as well. Now, you might be thinking, with all of these different resources available in your hands, how are you supposed to juggle this and actually be productive in learning? One technique that I want to share here is a Pomodoro technique. And Pomodoro is an Italian word for tomato, and you can see that cute little tomato kitchen timer. So with this technique, you want to grab yourself a timer, any timer will do, and also a notepad. And what you want to do is choose a task that you want to work on, write that down in your notepad, and then set that timer for 25 minutes and work on that one task with absolutely no distractions. And then after the 25 minutes, you want to take a short break and then repeat that about 4 times. After the 4th iteration, then you'll take a longer break, about 30 minutes. And during this time, you'll want to go back to your notepad and assess how much of that task you actually got completed. The main point with this technique being is that you don't necessarily have to follow this strict 25 minutes or 4 iterations. It's very adjustable to how you work. But the main point being is that you want to work on your task with absolutely no distractions. So no going to the refrigerator for snacks during this time. Now you might be thinking, how am I supposed to keep up with this productivity? And I like to think of it as a marathon. We've talked about marathons previously, and that you have to really take time and practice to get things right. And that's okay. Now, one step further, you can actually create a habit out of this productivity. And there's one technique called the 2190 rule. And this is super simple, whereas you want to have one task that you can do for 21 consecutive days, and then you'll create a habit out of that. And if you complete that habit for 90 more days, then you'll really create a lifestyle. So if you think about something small like working out for 10 minutes a day for 21 days, then that really becomes a habit. And then if you do that for a couple of months, it really does become second nature to you and your new lifestyle. Now that you have all of these tips, tricks, tools, you might be thinking, am I actually learning anything here? And this is where active learning comes into play. Number 1 tip being, be active. Now, how do you be active here? What you can do is attend events and conferences, and you guys are already doing this in the data community today. You can also participate on question boards, a good platform here being Stack Overflow, where people post questions or problems that you're having, and you can really go on there and see if you can help anybody with their issues. The last one being, of course, to create content on social media. You guys are very aware of that. My favorite platform to do this on LinkedIn. The data community on LinkedIn is super, super supportive. So main point being to be active and really work out your brain muscles here. Some tips: in order to be successful with active learning, you really need to step out of your comfort zone. I know it's super comfortable in your little comfort zone, but that's not really where the magic happens. And Albert Einstein actually says it really nicely here, saying that a ship is always safe at shore, but that's not what it's built for. So like with humans, we're really built to use our brains and to gain knowledge and to create things from that knowledge that we're gaining. Now, how do you actually apply that learning? one thing that you could do is to create a personal project portfolio. And you can do this either on LinkedIn, on GitHub, your own personal website. The options here are limitless, but really the main point being that you want to document somewhere your progress, and you'll be able to share that with others. And you may be thinking that these project portfolios are probably more for people that are beginning or starting out in the data community, where I actually think that it comes in two aspects, where you do have the people that are newer to the community demonstrating that they know the topic and that they're showing that they have experience. But really, it's a great way to help business professionals solidify that new knowledge that they're gaining, as well as teaching and inspiring others in areas that they might not know about. So I always like to end my creations with saying, happy learning. I just want to thank you guys so much for having me again on this show.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Monica. Amazing presentation. I love all the tips that you shared. I mean, being part of the data community is so important to me. So definitely, I love everything that you shared here. I was checking in on the comments. We did have one question come up specifically around apps. If you know what app people can use for, I believe it was the Pomodoro technique is when that question came up, and then things went by really fast, so I sort of lost it. But do you use any apps to keep yourself focused on specific tasks?
Other than the standard timer app that's already built in with your phone, I'm pretty sure there's really neat and fancy apps out there, but I'm old school. I don't technically use a kitchen timer because that would be super old school. But
So I'm curious, Monica, like this. I'm asking because that's something I struggle with, right? Like focusing on stuff, like it's tough to do, right? Because the thing with patience and persistence is you kind of need both of them to build both of them, right? So I'm good when it comes to like turning off notifications off my phone, off my watch, trying to get, turning off devices just so I can focus. But do you struggle with those type of just let's call them notifications in your mind that just distract you? Like how do you deal with that? Let's say you're fully analog when you're studying, you've put away everything, but you still get distractions in here, right?
Absolutely.
How do you handle that?
Absolutely. I would say that the breaks are more important than anything, because you need time for your brain to actually kind of go off in that daydream mode and then bring yourself back. So if you do have thoughts starting to come in your head, then that's kind of a signal of like, I need to step back away, let those thoughts come in your head, kind of ponder on them, and then, focus back on what you need to do. So the breaks are key for sure.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. Focus is definitely something I struggle with. I like to keep my hands in 20 different things at the same time. So when it comes time to do this one big thing, I definitely struggle. And I think what helps me is making lists of all the things that come up in my mind. This way I kind of like, okay, you're thinking this, write this down so you don't have to think it anymore. It's like a little brain dump. We had some suggestions come in for the apps. There's something called Focus Keeper. There's something called Forest, and people are definitely just loving the hashtag nourishment, and they're just putting that in the chat as well. So that's cool to see.
Thank you.
Awesome. All right. Well, Monica, thank you so much for the presentation. Again, very, very helpful to have all of these tips. Really appreciate this. I guess we're gonna continue on with the awards. Yes, Harpreet?
Let's do it.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank
Awesome.
you.
Thank you,
Monica, thank you so much.
Bye. Okay.
Awesome. Let's
You
continue
ready?
on. Yeah, so we got 2 more awards, and we got a speaker, then we got another award and another speaker. You guys, thank you so much for joining us today. Remember, let's get this thing up to like 125 people. Start sharing it. It's about to start getting super exciting now. We're in the final stretch of it, but let's go ahead and go to the next awards.
Yes, we're gonna go to the next award, and then I'll talk about the giveaway of Data Science Dream Job right after. Right after you announce this. So let's go ahead and give one of those awards away.
Yeah, absolutely. So we just gave the award for the best voted podcast or talk show. Thank you guys for that. Next up, we got
What do we
the
got?
award for. Ooh, this is going to be author in technical or instructional works. Guys, go ahead and comment right there in the chat. Tag who you think is going to be winning this award. So John Crone, he's got that book, Deep Learning Illustrated. Dennis Rothman, he's got like a bunch of books. One of Tom Ives' favorite book is the one on Transformers. Aurelian Guéron, this is the gentleman who wrote Hands-on Machine Learning for Scikit-learn and TensorFlow. So all amazing authors. Tag who you think won this one right there. Let us know right there in the chat. I see Alex the Analyst is out there in the chat. Alex the Analyst, Alex Freeberg, what's up, man?
Alex is asking if he won. Did he win anything, Harpreet?
Well, no, because you would have had to tell your people and promote the event so they knew to vote for you, Alex. So
all right, let's see. Comments are coming in. So some people think it's Dennis. Some people think it's John Crone. No, before you reveal this winner, let me do a quick let people know very briefly that you are actually giving away 2 half-hour sessions of mentoring, coaching, whatever you'd like to call that, and for people to enroll in that. I think that's an amazing giveaway. So hashtag DSDJ, Data Science Dream Job. Definitely participate. We're going to select, 2 winners for this one?
Yeah, yes. 2 winners for each. You guys get a half-hour one-on-one session with me, whatever you need, resume review, project review, career advice, whatever. I'm here to help you guys. So go ahead and smash DSDJ right there into the chat. All right, should we go and see who is up next, Kate?
Yes, let's do this.
Let's do it. And the winner is none other than, wait, what happened?
None other than, wait, what happened?
Dennis Rothman. Dennis Rothman, man. He's a very, very interesting character. I absolutely love this guy. Check out the episode he did on my podcast. We talked about everything. We talked about ancient Indian civilizations. We talked about philosophy. Oh, man, this guy's awesome. Where is he? Is he here? Is he around?
He's actually landing on my roof with a helicopter as we speak.
Of course. Typical Dennis.
So I had Dennis on my show. So I feel like we've interviewed a lot of these people here. So this is great. A lot of interconnectedness going on. Yes, I remember right when we were prepping for the show with Dennis, he said, "Don't show me the questions. I don't want to know what you're going to ask me. Ask me something weird." He's like, "Get weird with it. Do whatever you want." I'm like, "Wow, this is going to be my favorite guest." Oh, there he is now. All right, Dennis, come. You're up.
Hi, everyone. Well, I'd like to thank you for appreciating my book. And everyone that reads it and gives me all these nice comments all the time. Of course, transformers are an important topic because transformers drive natural language processing all over now. So, and there's a lot of math, but there's a lot of fun using them. And I did enjoy writing the book and communicating with everyone. So thank you very much again for appreciating my book. And if you have any questions, you can reach out to me anytime on LinkedIn. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.
Awesome. I love it.
Yeah, congratulations, Dennis, man. Thank you so much. Before you, I thought Transformers were just robots in disguise.
Yes. I have Dennis's book as well. Another popular session we did was on Transformers and for NLP. So Dennis, congratulations. We've got some congratulations coming in from the audience here. I'm going to quickly do one of the giveaways of Data Science Dream Job and go ahead and draw this. And then we'll do another giveaway right after our next award. It's confusing. There are giveaways. We're giving away stuff. There are awards. We're giving away awards. And the winner is Honor.
Well, you've already won some, Honor. You got to give somebody else a chance. So let's. Do you want to rerun it?
Yeah, we can redraw.
Yeah.
He's just the luckiest one out
He's
there,
just lucky, man. He's winning all the hashtags.
Yes. All right. Sorry, Honor. We're gonna have to choose somebody else. It'll be funny if it's him again. Oh, Jason.
All right, cool.
Jason. All right. I'm going to go ahead and remove that. We'll select
So,
one more winner
yeah.
shortly.
Kate, do you want to switch it up a little bit? I know we got the next speaker who's been patiently waiting for quite some time backstage. Do we want to bring our next speaker up and then go to the popular audience category?
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. Let's do that. Go for it.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So I couldn't be more excited for our next speaker. You guys ever get that feeling when you read somebody's content and it's like, are you the voice inside of my head? Because I feel like that every time I come across our next speaker's content. She is absolutely phenomenal. One of the people that I really look up to in the space. She's a data science leader with 7 years of experience, hailing from Dalian, a coastal city in China, and having lived in LA and Seattle before moving to San Francisco. She's riding the waves of machine learning and AI at AWS. Her stellar career includes building the first time series forecasting model for advertising at Boingo Wireless and analyzing and helping launch over 100 A/B tests at Amazon. And if all that wasn't impressive enough already, she has a US patent on experimentation that she holds along with some of her colleagues. Currently, she's building ML models for AWS customers from various industries to accelerate their businesses and products. You may recognize her from right here on LinkedIn, where she shares data science wisdom and career tips. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me in welcoming our next speaker, the incomparable Daliana Liu.
All right.
Hello,
Daliana,
everyone.
welcome to the show. So great to have you here.
Thank you for inviting me, and thank you, Harper, for that great introduction.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Daliana, we're going to hop off the stage and let you take it away.
Sounds good. Hi, everyone. Welcome to my talk. So today I'm going to talk about the 3 things that will bring your career to the next level. And I don't have any slides, so hope you can feel more engaged this way. So in school, what we learn about data science is all those technical theories and concepts. But when you think about it, it's more about training us to do research. However, if you have ever worked in industry, you know that data science is so much more than doing research. 50% or more than 50% of our time is spent understanding the problem or even defining the problem and getting data, cleaning the data. So a lot of times we feel frustrated about this big difference between school and our work. And often we feel stuck. How can I navigate my career this way? How can I get promotion? Why am I feeling stuck in my career? So today I'm going to share 3 tips on how you can become a better data scientist in the real world. So first, I will start with an example. Imagine your manager come to you and ask you, hey, can you give me the total sales of the past year across all the divisions? And then you go do some analysis for your manager. And then your manager come look at the number. Okay, here are the total sales. And your manager asks, okay, I'm curious, who are which division has the highest sales number and which one performs the worst? And then you go back, do some analysis. And then you come back again. Your manager might ask, okay, I'm wondering why the best division performed the best. What's your secret sauce? And then you do some other analysis. And this time, some deep dive might not use any statistical skills. You might need to go talk to some people. You need to do some deep dive of the data. So, and now you feel like, oh, why my manager always come back with more questions? The thing is, data science are our toolbox. Although our title are data scientists, but our real job is like Stockholm's. You collect those thousands of pieces of information and you're going to investigate and help the business make a better decision. So it doesn't matter what you do eventually. The main tool is to use data, but the destination you want to get is to solve a business problem. So the first tip is always think like a business owner. Don't be confined with your data science role. And when your manager asks you those type of questions, anticipate, okay, if I'm a business owner, what questions am I going to have? What details do I want to know? So when you adopt this type of mindset, even before your manager asks follow-up questions, give you follow-up tasks about some ad hoc requests, you can already be proactive in providing those analysis. Maybe you can even provide a different type of breakdown for your analysis that your manager didn't even think of. And that's the value you can provide. Now, I hear a lot of discussion around, okay, we have so many different of tools. Will data scientists be automated? Will data scientists be replaced by AI? Well, I think those tools can definitely make data science job easier in solving problems. However, if what you only know is about how to use these tools, maybe you will be replaced. And what sets you apart from the rest of the data scientists is your problem-solving skills, how much domain knowledge you have, how are you going to leverage those different type of tools to solve a problem, and go to ask the question that nobody has think of. So that is going to the value you provide. So adopt this type of thinking can give you an edge when you actually need to compete to all those new tools emerging that might replace you. So the second part of it, I'm going to talk about now. We talk about, okay, think like a business owner, right? When you do your analysis, but a lot of those follow-up questions that might give you a headache when your manager always asks you to do some ad hoc analysis can be anticipated in the beginning of the project. So this is the second tip. Before the project, ask your manager why they need this analysis. Ask them about the big picture. Why? So because when managers need analysis or when they need to make a business decision, they don't always know the details and the limitations of the data. And you are the scientist. You know your data. So, or sometimes they simply don't have the data science background to think beyond the very few methods they know. For example, maybe they are looking for an aggregation, but based on your understanding of the problem, they should use an average or a median, for example. By letting them explain the big picture, you often identify sometimes the analysis or the metric they're asking for won't solve their problems. And it's important to brainstorm with them and make sure the analysis is not just what they think they need, but what helps them achieve their goal. And sometimes our stakeholders might feel impatient. Hey, I'm just asking a data point. Can you just give that to me? And it's important for you to communicate. First, it takes time to do the analysis. And second, you can bring up, there are 3 ways to do analysis, and different ways use different type of data, making different type of assumptions. And it will be helpful for me to understand the goal of your analysis so I can give you exactly what you want. So it's okay to have this conversation instead of whenever you are assigned a task. Find a problem with them based on your understanding. Even if you get a little bit pushback, no, you're not just a data tool, right? We're not just some data monkey. We are thinkers. Even if we're not included in those meetings when the managers or the business stakeholders are discussing those goals, you need to push yourself into the discussion. Even if you're not in a room, just have that conversation, and then maybe after a few times they see the value of your input, they will invite you to the meeting. You can also suggest next time maybe have those type of planning or goals. Bring me into the discussion, and it will be easier for me to generate high value analysis. So that's the second part. Always ask why when you're assigned a project. The third one is, now you think, okay, I already asked why, I get clarity of my project, I can just put my head down, I can finally do my analysis, I don't need to talk to anybody anymore. And then you just show the results in the end, hey, this is exactly what you want, right? But a lot of times business moves very fast. The world can change while we're doing our analysis. Business goals change and their requirement might also change. So the alignment with the stakeholder doesn't just happen in the beginning of the project. You should constantly doing that during the project. Schedule weekly, bi-weekly check-ins. One is to make sure you know whether their goals has changed, and also give yourself a little bit of motivation to set a milestone for yourself. So when you working on the project, it's also important to constantly get feedback, right? When I say get feedback, it doesn't mean you have to give a very polished presentation. It could be just as easy as show people your Jupyter notebook. What do you have some visualization to let other people see whether you're going in the right direction? And even if the results is just very simple, the business can give you feedback. So sometimes it will be too late to have feedback when you already finish your project. Get feedback along the way and keep aligning the goal. And once you start to get feedback, you also realize, oh, maybe the setting in the beginning need to be adjusted, or maybe I need more time to do this, or maybe I need more resources. So, and it's also helpful whenever you change your objective, when you got more feedback, that you need to realign the goals. Make sure you document those, because we all deal with a lot of assumptions, a lot of projects. Those things we might forget. And sometimes even your stakeholder will forget what they want. So it's important to write everything in paper. Think of it as a data project contract. So once you have the contract, it's easy for you to know where exactly do you want to go, so you don't get lost. It serves as the GPS of your data science project. So to summarize, I talk about three things. First, think like a business owner. Anticipate what type of questions that will help your manager to solve their problem. And second, when you have a project, always ask why. Don't just take the ask for what it is. And second, during the project, get feedback early and constantly align with your stakeholders. So there can be a lot of other tips I can give about data science and career. I write LinkedIn, I have a newsletter. You can follow me to get more insights. So the main point I want to talk about today is data science is so much more than data and tools and the technical skills. And some people call those skills people skills and soft skills. But I think it's more than just skills and tactics. It's actually a mindset, how you think yourself when you're at work. Are you a business owner? Are you just are you a team player? Are you a business owner? Are you thinking about the big picture? So in order to get to the next level of your data science career, I encourage you to bring your mindset to the next level. Thank you, everyone. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Deliana. I love the presentation. I think my favorite takeaway from the presentation is to document your goals. A lot of times we set goals, but if we don't write them down, chances are they're not going to happen. And then getting feedback along the process and then reassessing your goals, I think that's really, really important. So thank you so much for that presentation. We do have questions that came in, but first, Harpreet, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, Daliana, thank you so much for taking time to be here. Really appreciate having you here and really happy to finally meet you. It's been a while since I've been following your content. And like I said, I feel like you and I are peas in a pod. I feel like we think very similarly. And I like the point it's like data science is not just like you can't point to a single skill and say yes, this skill is data science. It's like a meta skill, right? It's a skill composed of many different skills, and I think your first point really touched to that. But yeah, let's get to the questions. I like this question here from Christiane.
Yep. Yep. So Daliana, how would you know what to ask or lead a brainstorm session if you're new on the area or the job?
That's a good question. I think if you don't know how to lead, you can, I'm sure you might have a manager or you might have someone else who used to lead a discussion. You can shadow with this person or co-lead with this person. And the second thing is if you don't feel comfortable in a meeting, so the meeting shouldn't be the first time you meet with all the stakeholders. You need to do prep work before the meeting. Right, you need to schedule your one-on-one with those stakeholders. Hey, we're going to have the discussion. Is there something I need to know, about a business? Or ask them to send some documentation about their current process, their business, and you can ask them questions. So do those preparation if you don't have anyone to help you. So just remember to have a productive meeting. Sometimes you prepare before the meeting and make sure you already have a trust and rapport built with the stakeholders.
Yeah, I love the concept of working with someone, right? Having a co-lead that actually knows a bit more about that space or that job and working together. I think that's such an effective way to do this. I think we have time for one more question here. We'll ask the question from George. Should data scientists be embedded in the business units for which they work with?
Totally, you should totally embed yourself with a business unit you work with, gaining the domain knowledge, understand the definition of the data. Again, the business goals. Sometimes you feel that's a waste of my time going to a lot of meetings. But I think if you understand a business better, you can structure a project better. And also, it's again, I talk about trust. If the business unit trusts you more, they will give you more freedom to do your project, and also they would take your feedback. You also give them feedback, right? They will also take you more serious, so they will be helpful for you to make a bigger impact on their business. So yeah.
Awesome. Well, Daliana, thank you so much again for being here at the award show. Harpreet, anything else before we move on?
No, Daliana, thank you again. Really appreciate having you here. Cheers.
Okay, great. So before we move on to the next award, I'm just going to give away that that other data science dream job half-hour session with the one and only Harpreet Sahota. All right.
Holla.
All right. So let's see. The winner of this giveaway is going to be. It's going to be Anor probably. So let's.
Sheesh, right on.
Awesome. Congratulations. We'll follow up with you shortly.
Yeah, we'll be in touch.
Yes, we'll definitely be in touch.
Yeah.
So Harpreet, are we ready for the next?
Let's do it. Let's do the award for popular author. You guys, if you guys were hanging around, you saw that Dennis Rothman won the award for the best technical author. Let's go ahead and let's see who the finalists are for popular authors or popular audience. So we've got Gilbert Eikelenboom, Aurelian Guéron, or Scott Taylor. Who is it going to be, man? Tag who you think it's going to be right there in the chat. Let us know who you think it's going to be. Let us know, man.
Let's see.
Tag them. And this is great. I mean, these are all great authors like Gilbert's, People Skills for Analytical Thinkers. Excellent book. I've got Scott Taylor's book right there on the bookshelf somewhere. Aurelian Guéron, I pirated his book. It's I found a PDF and I downloaded it and it's on my laptop. All great authors, man. Who do you guys think it's going to be? So what do we got coming in? We got people voting for Dennis. That was the last one, guys. Couple of people here for Scott Taylor.
All right, let's see. We've got Ravi thinks it's Scott. We've got Kalyan thinks it's Dennis. Scott. Oh yeah, Dennis is for the technical one. Let's go ahead. Gilbert is solid. Yeah, I mean, this was a close one. And I know books are very important to, I'd say, everyone in this community. I feel like the person that I think about when it comes to book is Christina
Mm.
Sakopoulos, because she does her book a week challenge.
Yeah.
She may or may not join us here shortly. You know, I'm not gonna ruin a surprise by any means, but we do have some speakers coming up later on. Let's see. Eric thinks I hear data whispering that it might be Scott Taylor, the data whisperer. Chi also thinks it's the data whisperer. Let's go ahead and see. Oh, Ravith is not sure it's either Scott or Gilbert.
Yeah.
Are we ready to announce this?
Yeah,
All
let's
right.
do it. And don't forget, follow Christina's hashtag book a week or hashtag book a month challenge.
Book a week.
All
There
right,
it is. Yep. All right, go for
let's
it.
see it, man. Let's see it. And the winner is Scott Taylor. Scott Taylor, the data whisperer himself, the popular audience book. Scott Taylor around anywhere?
You know, Scott Taylor may be around. I'm gonna go ahead and see. I think if you all just tag Scott in the comments, he may actually appear on screen along with us here. Let's go ahead and tag Scott Taylor. And is Scott here?
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much. I can't believe it. I'm so thrilled. Really, I never win anything. I'm all about the why. Telling your data storytelling for data management, 99% buzzword free. I want to thank all of you so much for voting for me. It's a great award. I want to thank Steve Hoberman and the folks at Technics Publications. I want to thank Kate for bringing me into the whole data science community. Harpreet for keeping it going. Really, it's a beauty. You know, they are heavier than I actually thought. I got to thank Liam and Jonathan and Julie for reading the rough draft. Don't forget Marianne, the data whisperer, of course. And oh wait, they're playing me off here, but really, listen, Lucy and Theo, Pop 1, I love you. You can go to sleep now. Really, puppets rule. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh my God, Scott is
Oh, I love
hilarious.
it.
Wow.
Oh man, absolutely love it.
Yes, we got the honor of having Scott here live, which I absolutely love. Yes, Ben is saying it's a party.
It is a party.
And Al said, as if Scott would ever pass up his 15 minutes of fame.
All right,
Oh
man.
my God.
That was awesome. Hey, so this is the
Yeah.
last award we got going on right here, right, Kate? This is going to
Yes,
be the last
yes,
one.
that's true. LinkedIn
Wow.
personality. Look
All
at
right.
that.
So, I mean, I think about, LinkedIn and what it's done for me. Like I would not be here if it was not for LinkedIn. I don't even think I would be a data scientist if it was not for LinkedIn. LinkedIn has been so instrumental in my career, in my journey. It's played a big role in just everything over the last 3 years. And it's weird to say like that I owe so much to a social network, right? It's just it sounds strange as I hear myself say those words, but I honestly would not be where I am without LinkedIn. And it's because of the people here that are creating content, consistently sharing and educating and helping. And I know, Kate, obviously LinkedIn's been huge for you as well, right?
Oh my goodness. Wow. LinkedIn is literally the one and only platform that made all the difference for me. It all started like about 6-7 years ago when I started with my very first post. And then getting the LinkedIn Top Voice Award for 2 years in a row was such an honor and a shock, honestly. I remember telling somebody I was the top voice of data science and analytics, and they actually laughed. They're like, "What do you even know?" I'm like, "I don't know much, but I talk a lot, right? It's the top voice. It's not the biggest brain." So LinkedIn's definitely been huge for me. It's where I made all the friends that we're talking about here and talking to today. I'm going to go ahead and share the screen here because I know we have our 3 finalists for the LinkedIn personality.
So go ahead right there in the chat, tag who you think the winner is. While we get those things coming up, man, like I remember it was probably April 2018 when I really started getting active on LinkedIn, and there's 5 people in particular that I started to follow that were like my introduction to LinkedIn. And this is back then when like people would just always tag people in their posts. Like I guess we still kind of do that, but the 5 people, man, there was Kyle McHugh, who's since become like one of my closest friends. Kyle McHugh, Randy Lau, Kate Strachny, Eric Weber, and Kristen Kerr. Those are the 5 people that paved the way for me in data science. And if you scroll back, Kate, to your messages with me, there's probably some messages from me from 2018, just hitting you up, just trying to pick your brain on stuff. Same thing with, you know, the rest of the folks there. But yeah, it's been awesome to see this, and I'm excited to see who the winner of this award is. All 3 of these guys really doing some great work, spreading knowledge, sharing with the community. Super excited to see how this happens. What do you say? What are some people saying?
We've got someone that says Eric Weber.
Okay.
Let me see. They're just coming in now. On Mall thinks it's Greg. Let's see.
All
Eric
right.
likes my comment of top voice, not biggest brain. Yeah.
Let's
All right,
see
I
what
think we're
happens.
ready for the winner though. So the
Let's do
final
it.
award here.
It goes to Eric Sims. Eric Sims,
Amazing.
congratulations. And this was amazing to see. I feel proud like a big brother for some odd reason. I don't understand why, but it's because Eric is you know, I've been in touch with him every Friday for the last like 30 something weeks, ever since I started those data science happy hours, and just seeing the amount that he's done since then has been phenomenal. It's been amazing, and it's just inspiring. So Eric, for whatever it's worth, man, I feel proud like a big brother of you. And I mean, look, like this was not a close vote at all. Eric won by a landslide, by like a factor of 5. Like
Wow.
he dominated the charts. It was really cool to see. Eric, are you around anywhere, man? Are you somewhere here?
Eric is in a spaceship. Actually, he's the coolest one of all. He's in the spaceship. He's hovering around, waiting for his opportunity to say thank you. But I remember that I first came across Eric at your happy hour, one of those data science happy hours on a Friday, and that's where I came across Eric. Oh, look, he's landed. He has a message for us here.
Hey, thank you so much. I'm really excited about this. We're partying here. Chewy's in the back chilling the champagne. So one thing I just want to say is I want to encourage anybody watching this to get involved on LinkedIn. There's always room for more people. Like post once a week about something you're excited about or something you're learning about. Engage in comments and, you know, be part of the conversation. And above all, just be yourself, because it is the best thing that you have to offer. And if you are new to data science and want to understand the industry a little bit better, this week I'm doing a data science day in the life kind of challenge where it's hashtag DS day in the life. So check it out. And every day I'm writing about what I'm doing each day, and other people are joining in to share about what they're doing in the day-to-day at work. And so I'm really excited about that, and I would love it if you would get involved as well. So yeah, thanks again, and I'll see you on LinkedIn.
I love the music. It's so cool.
Congratulations, Eric. He's on that spaceship. Him and Greg Kokio were building a data center on the moon. That's what I heard last. But yeah, man, congratulations, Eric. And so that's it. That's all the awards that we've given out. We've got one more speaker. Should I go ahead and introduce him?
Yes, Harpreet,
right,
go
guys.
for it. Introduce our closer here before we get to data event.
Absolutely. So our closing speaker is an AI explorer who builds the future, making stuff that didn't exist before and leading data science teams to boldly go where no man has gone before. He's made it his life's mission to further the boundaries of what is possible with data science. He has a contagious passion for machine learning and spends as much time as he can working with deep learning, NLP, and all forms of data science. He believes that there's a trend happening in data science where human expertise and creativity are being replaced by powerful new methods. And today, he's here to talk to us about inspirational models. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me in welcoming the chief data science evangelist at DataRobot, the unrecruitable Ben Taylor.
Thanks, man. How's my audio?
Oh, that's great, man. Sounds
Perfect.
And for the audience, Harpreet and Kate were nice enough to allow me to shift my schedule around because today is nuts. I'm flying to San Francisco today.
It's always nuts in your life, man. You always do.
It is, but it's not the end of the world, right? Like life goes on.
Exactly.
Yes, Ben, thank you so much for being here. And I love that hashtag unrecruitable. So we're gonna hop off the stage, let you take it away, and then answer some questions from the audience.
Perfect. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Yep.
For inspirational models, how models can change lives, change society, and give us legacy. For anyone that wants to reach out and find me, Ben Taylor Data, you can find me on Twitter. I check that once a month, and then Ben Taylor Data on LinkedIn. So I took this picture a couple months ago, and you might think I'm going to die, but we're all going to die. So live your life, right? Like we're all going to get to the end of the road eventually. And part of this journey, this is a picture with me and my girlfriend 20 years ago. We actually ran away and eloped, and there's a whole love story behind that. But this gets me to my point. My point is today is my son's birthday. So this is Ezra. This picture was taken 9 years ago, and now he's turning into a little man. I've got 3 little kids, and I promise you I'm going to get into a data talk, but I just want to take a second and think about, okay, so for those of you that are listening that have kids, you might know that kids are pretty important. This is my sister Jenny, she's a science mom. She's also an influencer, which is really funny because she has twice as many followers as I have. So I guess she's my older sister, so that's okay. So I care about these people. I care about my kids. I care about my sister. I care about my wife, my spouse. I care about my friends. And now I'm going to steer this talk into intelligence. So this ant seems pretty dumb until we see a few ants, and then we start to wonder, geez, these ants seem pretty smart. And then we see something like a shark. This is the shark whisperer, by the way. She has no protection, and she feels like sharks are misunderstood. I would actually disagree with her because I think sharks are understood that they have a 35-gram brain compared to a dolphin, which has a 1,600-gram brain, significantly bigger. So a shark doesn't have a lot going on upstairs. And if you want to challenge me on that, we would look at its behavior. You don't see sharks showing signs of curiosity. You don't see them jumping out of the wake of a ship. You don't see them showing these types of social behaviors that we see with dolphins. So dolphins are obviously superior when it comes to their intelligence. But humans are really, really special. And I'll give you a quick case in point. So assume a bear kills a human. And now assume the opposite. A human kills a bear. What happens in the future? Well, if a human kills a bear, that bear and maybe that single generation might be impacted. They might actually fear a human. If a bear kills a human, that will become folklore. All the humans will know, society will know, and humans will know for generations to watch out for this thing. And the brilliant thing there is communication. And so as you think about models for people that are listening in AI, there is this evolutionary process. You go from experimental, where you're building your models, you've got an AUC score or an R value or accuracy. And for data scientists that are a little bit more experienced, they get to value, where they're communicating KPIs, dollar amounts. They're trying to use a utility function to translate something as simple as a statistical metric to value. And the ones that really fall in love with the space, the ones that make it their mission and their passion, they deal with what I see as being transformational. And by transformational, with the right types of problems, you're looking at legacy. So for the people I started with in this talk, the people that matter, the people I care about, the people that will live hopefully longer than I will and hopefully have better lives than I had, there's something we can leave behind. And so something I've been thinking a lot about this year, and I appreciate you guys being here to listen to this, and I appreciate this award ceremony. This is really great that this is coming together. What are you going to leave behind? And I love this littering sign. So humans aren't always good. We litter sometimes, and that's awful. But what are you going to leave behind, and what are you going to leave better than you found it? So as you think about, this is the final slide, as you think about the AI problems that you're out there solving, there are so many problems that should inspire you. They reduce bias, they improve healthcare, they might improve education. For everyone listening, you have an opportunity to chase a data science passion and to change society, to improve society so it's better than you found it. And so I think that's the most beautiful thing about this space that we're in. We're not just a bunch of nerds writing code. We are working on problems and solutions that could change society forever, that could make your kids, your grandkids better off because of the work that you did. So I challenge you all to find the passion projects that will move the needle and shift the distribution on society, whether that's healthcare, education, etc. So I'll stop there, and if we have any time left, I will stop sharing and go to questions. And I didn't do this talk on my phone in an Uber.
Thank you, Ben. Thank you. I love your presentation style. It's always a story, and I absolutely love the approach. Question for you: ants versus sharks. Who's smarter?
Ants versus sharks.
Yeah.
I guess sharks. Actually, for a quick nerd fact, sharks are famous because of the levee distribution. So the way they do hunting, they do these big jumps and then really small stochastic search, and then another big jump. And so that is a popular distribution that's used in machine learning. So like, I guess sharks did something useful. They can hunt better than pure randomness.
I'm interested, like, this is a random question here, but for marine life, marine animals, do you think that their brains didn't get as large or developed as humans because they weren't able to like smell? Because isn't that kind of how like our brain was formed? It was just a clump of cells that was on the base of our spine here that just helped us smell. I'm just rambling.
I'm not sure, because you have other animals like wolves and dogs and stuff where they would have superior smell, or some other animals like a bear has a better smell than us. But I think the brilliant breakthrough with people has been, it wasn't really the thing I hammered home on, was experience transfer through language. So dolphins are really smart, but they're not going to go to Mars, where I think we will all see humans go to Mars in our lifetime, and that's because of experience transfer. So you really can't lay praise to your own intelligence. You have to thank all of the millions and millions of people that honestly did a lot of sacrifice to give us what we have today, and literally gave their lives, and mistakes, and how many astronauts lost their lives trying to go to space.
Yeah.
And so
with respect to like the models and machine learning and stuff like that, there's just a huge focus. I think anybody just trying to break into data science, they're like, what skills do I need to get into data science? And they learn Python, they learn the math, they learn the stats, they learn the algorithms and stuff. But that stuff doesn't actually help you leave the place better, right? Like it does definitely informs the entire process. But like, what do we start doing like when we're breaking into the field to consider what we need to do to help leave this place better with the work that we're doing?
I think that's a great question. I think the number one thing I think about is passion. So some people get overwhelmed. They're like, I have to learn all this stuff. I can't learn it well. If you can just make passion your pillar, that you will find something you're passionate about and chase it as fast as you possibly can, that is great, because you'll get better jobs, higher pay, and you will have more options. So some people feel trapped in a job. I would encourage you, if you chase passion, you won't feel trapped. You will have options. If you'd rather go work on renewable energy, innovation in healthcare, innovation in education, all of that is available to people that are high on passion.
Yeah, so it's about finding what matters to you personally, and then finding the intersection of that with data science, with machine learning, and then chasing that, right? Because I mean, you figure if you do that, the paycheck will take care of itself. You'll get paid, right? I think people tend to just want to break into the field and start making a lot of money.
And money is a big distraction, because I used to work at a hedge fund where that was the promise. Like, you will make more money than you can possibly imagine, but you'll have a really crappy life. So there's so much we don't talk about, like kids and family and stuff we do outside of work. That's what actually matters. Assume I give everyone notice you're going to die next week.
Yeah.
Now take a pause and reflect on what actually mattered, and it's not going to be the paycheck.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I like the quote by Marcus Aurelius, and in Meditations he says, "You can leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think."
Yeah, I'm going to say something terrible. It's not terrible. If you don't like your job, quit.
Yeah, exactly.
Quit your job. If you don't like your job, quit.
Right now, everybody.
Everybody, if you don't like your job, quit. Everybody that's listening, quit your job immediately. And if you're scared, go think about it over the weekend and really analyze why you don't like your job.
Hey man, what do they say? Leap and the net will appear, right? Like, it's your time. If you're trading your time for money, at least trade it in for something that you enjoy doing, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So one thing I'll say, Ben, we've got a lot of comments here coming in that you're a fantastic storyteller. People love all your presentations. I absolutely agree. And what's interesting is you never know what Ben's going to say. He was talking at the DATAcated takeover, when was it, last week? and then they got into kind of the meaning of life. So it's always an interesting story. So thank you so much, Ben.
Yeah, our PR teams and comms people love it.
Yeah. I'm sure they do. Very predictable. Unrecruitable, unpredictable Ben. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you all. And thanks for hosting this, guys. This is great.
No, absolutely, man. Thanks for being here, and thanks for always hanging out with us on Fridays at the happy hours, man. Really appreciate having you there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks again, Ben. We're going to go ahead and move on to our big finale here.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Yeah. Are we doing another giveaway at all, or
Want to do another giveaway?
yeah? Let's get one more for packed out of the way, and then we can go to our big finale.
All right. Well, you can talk about the big finale while I set this up.
Oh yeah. Big finale is going to be huge. It's going to be awesome. We've got a lot of friends coming and hanging out. And guys, man, just shout out to all the sponsors who rejected us. Just let you guys know that next year we're going to be back bigger, better than ever. If you guys enjoyed this year's award ceremony, next year's is going to be even better. If any of you out there, data people, I know you guys are multi-talented. If any of you people have skills like, that are entertaining, kind of like not the speaking stuff, but musical skills, whatever, bring that. And then let's have those as presentations. Like maybe we can get Joe Reese to do a DJ set. That would be awesome.
Yeah, I think that would be really fun. So our last giveaway here is Mastering Tableau 2021, another book from Pact. We're going to select 2 winners here. So go ahead and type hashtag Pact in the comments, and we're going to select 2 winners. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a minute. Deliana here says, absolutely, just be mindful of your time in the meeting so you don't get overwhelmed. I think that was a comment over to Ben's presentation there.
Yeah, you guys, if you don't already follow Daliana, make sure you do. She's got amazing content. Like I said, it's weird because it sounds like I see her stuff and I'm like, oh my god, I think the same way. That's so crazy. So it's cool to see that. Daliana, one of these days you got to swing by the Artists of Data Science happy hour and hang out with us. Love to have you there. All right,
Yes.
a lot of stuff coming in for Pact. Look at all this.
Well,
This
yeah,
is
that
cool.
Tableau book is really, really cool. I actually interviewed the author of that book, Merlene Mayer, and it's an amazing book that gets you started with Tableau and goes over some of the key areas in Tableau, like LODs and some of the new concepts for 2021. You ready for our winners here?
Let's do it.
All right. So let's draw the very first winner. And our winner is, for the Mastering Tableau 2021 book, congratulations to Christian.
right.
Awesome. If you guys want to participate, it's hashtag Pact to play. This is our very, very last giveaway, one last book. I'm going to go ahead and draw one last time here for our final winner. And then we get into our big surprise at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Renata.
Hey, Renata. Awesome.
Congratulations.
Renata is a friend. She's a semi-regular fixture at the Sunday session sponsored by Comet ML. Renata, glad to see you here. I know you've been joining us pretty much the entire day, so really, really happy that you won that.
Yes.
Should we do this, man? Should we unravel the surprise? Open Pandora's box here.
Yes. Let's go ahead and we've got some surprises for you guys backstage. So we've got some people. Harpreet, you probably don't even see who's backstage. So I'm going to bring them up one at a time.
It's a surprise to me. I have no clue who's here.
I think the best way to do this is once I bring you on, just tell us who you are briefly and let us know maybe one tip that you can give to people in terms of creating content, because you're here for that reason. I'm going to go ahead and start with our very first guest, Christina.
Hey.
Welcome to the show.
Hi
it
everyone.
going?
Thanks for having me on.
Pleasure.
So quick intro for those that don't know me. I'm most well known for my Book a Week challenge that Kate and Harpreet mentioned earlier. I am an analytical lead at Waze at Google and also an analytics professor. So I'm all over the place.
That's awesome.
And as far as the tip, Let's see. I would say, first of all, is just don't overthink it. Like, share your thoughts, your passions, be yourself and be open. When people come to me asking for advice, I feel like they overthink it too much. And then if I could add just one more, it would be to never say no, especially when it comes to like public speaking and just getting your voice out there. Because by saying no to something, you don't know what other doors you could be closing later on.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Christina. I'm going to go ahead and bring up our very next guest. And let's go with Mr. Ravit Jain here.
Hey.
So, you're on mute, Ravit, but as you join, tell us who you are and your tip for creating content.
Awesome. Hello. Kate and Harpreet, you've done a fantastic job. Love it. And I was just watching it behind the stage. And also Ben, fantastic presentation as usual. So for quick introduction about myself, I'm the host of The Rabbit Show and also community manager at Fact Publishing. I closely work with tech authors to make sure their books are amplified at a global level. So that's why you'll see me amplifying books all around. And yeah, definitely, I would say follow Book a Week Challenge by Christina. It's fantastic. So that's about me. A quick tip I would say is don't stop yourself from, don't have those roadblocks in your mind. Kate would agree because she's the one who inspires everyone with great content, and she always says the same thing, where don't have those roadblocks. So yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being here, Ravit. I'm going to go ahead and bring on Mr. Scott Taylor.
Hey, everybody.
Only.
How are ya? Scott Taylor, the Data Whisperer. Not doing too much whispering. We save that for the data. Telling your data storytelling for data management. So thrilled with my award here. Thank you so much. What's my tip? Have a point of view. Have a point of view, a distinct point of view. You're not going to make everybody happy. Not everybody's going to like your stuff. So have a distinct point of view and stick with it. So when people see you, hear you, read you, watch you, they have some sense of kind of where you are. And, you know, as they say, you want to be authentic. If you can fake that, you got it made. And practice, for sure. Practice. Try stuff out. Don't, do things in a quality way. Take your time to make sure stuff looks good if you can. Just throw it out there. I know a lot of people think, oh, you just throw it out there, see what happens. It ain't going to stick. All these people on the screen here, everybody you saw today who won anything, these people are artists truly in terms of how they work on their craft. It's a craft, it's not luck. And like everything Kate posts, and it's a good way in.
That's hilarious. Thank you so much, Scott. So the next person I'm going to bring up, he is the father of all children. Let's see if you guys can guess who
Here he
it is.
comes.
Let us know in the comments who is the father of all children. I'm going to pop him up on screen right now. Welcome.
Papa.
I have a special announcement today. This is the day where Scott and I finally decided I would adopt him. He is my 100th child. You said you wanted this, Scott. Okay, never mind.
The papers haven't come through yet. There's some kind of problem, but we'll work it out.
It will continue to be a problem. And then I did have my name as Harpreet Rupee #1, but it got erased somehow. What are we supposed to give advice on?
Creation, Tom. What are your tips for creating content on LinkedIn or other media?
Share because you care.
I love it.
All right.
I want to elaborate, but I feel like I'll take away from the message if I say any more. Share because you care.
It's a good message. I like it.
Yeah, it's very powerful. Plus, we have
And just do it. You get better because you do it. And my kids out there, my illustrious sons and daughters, they've really taken to it too. Hugo, my awesome son, he wrote an amazing post today. Data is no longer the new oil or gold. It's the new food. And I love it. It's spicy.
Like that.
All right, thank you, Tom. We've got 2 more people hiding backstage. I'm going to go ahead and uncover the next one. And again, if you want to guess who this is, she's very well known for lip syncing and classifying data. I'm sure you guys all know. Oh, Tom, you don't know. Who could it be?
Who's this gonna be?
It is
Boom! Yeah!
Hey, holla.
Susan Walsh. Welcome.
I was just thinking, Kate, you shouldn't have put Tom and Scott together when Tom was talking about data being the new foods. Scott's not impressed.
I moved them away.
Hey.
The keeper is in the middle.
I wanted the center square.
Rob,
I'm Paul Lynn in the group. Here, that dates me.
Susan, welcome to the show. So you're known as Come On Scotland at this point, but this is Susan Walsh, the classification guru.
If you don't know the backgrounds, then where have you been?
Exactly.
Yeah, so Susan Walsh, the classification guru, but tonight I am a massive Scotland supporter. Kick-off, we're playing the Czechs tonight. So is it Czechs? No, we're playing Croatia. England's playing the Czechs tonight. So it's big. We got to win this game.
All right, Susan, thank you for being here. What's your tip for creating content? If you have anything that hasn't been said so far.
I think it probably has been said, but if it's not, just be yourself. Don't be anything else other than yourself. You'll get found out.
As Scott said, being authentic is great. If you can fake that, you can do anything.
Yeah.
So I'm going to bring on someone without whom we would not have any light. So it would be totally dark if I didn't bring on the Mr. Lights on Data.
Hey.
George.
Hello, everyone.
Hey.
Hi, everybody. Hello. Good to see you all.
Hey. How's it going, George?
Good, good. How's everybody doing? So happy to be here.
There you go.
Ooh,
George,
nice.
you got there. You go. Thank you for being here. I think we've got everyone. We've gathered the group from backstage. So guys, the surprise here was we've got the Data Avengers assembled here. We're here to take questions. If you have any questions on creating content, Harpreet, what are your thoughts on this group we gathered here?
Wow. I didn't know all these wonderful people were backstage. I'm just like every player comes up, I'm just like, what's going on? No, but everybody here has been really instrumental in I think my journey. So I want to personally thank all of you guys here for all the support and appreciate all the help you guys have provided me over the last year or so. I mean, when it comes to content creation, like, do you guys have like a strategy? Like, do you guys sit down like on a Sunday night or a Saturday night and just think, okay, well, this is kind of what the things I want to talk about, and then let me just write up some posts and schedule it out? How do you guys go about doing that?
We follow Kate and we see, oh, okay, that's the strategy. All right.
Let's hear from Christina, and then after Christina, maybe Tom.
You're always putting me on the spot. I'm always the first one.
Always.
No, but for my case, I don't do any planning. I mean, I'm very much I talk about what I'm passionate about. I'll wake up in the morning and depending what I feel like posting that day, but I don't put too much thought into it. And that's also why my recommendation was don't overthink it, because I personally don't, and I don't think there's any need for that. But I don't know about the others here.
Tom, what do you think?
Well, I got a confession. A lot of my stories start with, I have a confession. I was just following all of you guys, liking your post, and this really annoying young man named Robert Jane called me and said, Tom, why aren't you doing more on LinkedIn? And I went, wow, I didn't know anyone really wanted to hear from me. So I started, this is one of my daughters. So I started just sharing things that I was excited about. I thought, well, you know, I really love this. Maybe someone will appreciate it. And I actually was shocked, honestly, friends. I had no idea that people would appreciate what I found so interesting. And Scott, you were a big encouragement to me. You helped me a lot. I know it's a shock to you. You probably don't feel that very much. But no, seriously, it was great. And then as I got closer to all of you, I grew from just being infected by you in a good way. So thank you. But unlike Christina now, I started out with a theme, and quite honestly, I got a little burned out on my themes because I started writing a book. So now I'm just keeping going by saying, oh, that's interesting. Well, I guess others might want to know about that, so I share. It works pretty good, even when you're hyper busy. Oh,
I love
and
that, Tom.
I know it might be a little inappropriate, but this is long overdue. Susan, this is for you.
Hello, thanks to you all.
Was this the time where we were going to have a lip sync? That's why.
I think
that's
so,
the only
Susan.
reason I came on. I thought we were having a lip sync right now. That's the only reason I came on.
We gotta make that
Where's
happen.
your outfit, Tom?
We need to make this happen.
Oh, I'm
actually,
working on the outfit.
there's a question here coming in from YouTube. Kate, if you could pull that up from
I was just
FF.
looking at that too.
Yeah. How do you find creativity? It's so hard to develop great ideas. Well, first of all, don't put the burden on yourself to come up with great ideas. If all you got is bad ideas, then write down the bad ideas. And then just continue to write down your bad ideas. And somewhere in there, you'll have a good idea. It's quite possible that at least one of your bad ideas could potentially be good. So,
Or
yes.
if you just jot them down somewhere, because sometimes you have like a half of an idea, you come up with something else,
Yeah.
and you go, oh, these two things could work together, even though that first one was, not enough. So I find that a lot. I jot all kinds of half thoughts, quarter thoughts, whatever you want to call it. Actually, I use Harpreet, you might want to look into it. I use a computer.
Oh no.
The whole analog thing is over, baby. Okay,
Nah, dude,
really.
I'm all about the analog, dude. I can't do
2021 here. A pen.
I mean, this thing is so distracting. I prefer
paper,
this.
nothing on it, because But anyway, just kind of keep that. So keep it somewhere, whether it's in a notebook or Evernote. I lived off of Evernote for the last 10 years. If I have it in Evernote, I know it's safe. And then you go back and go, oh, that little thing or that idea. I mean, I'm working on more puppets, as all of you know, and there's jokes and ideas and thoughts coming all year that I just throw into a big puppet bucket. And we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, there's a strategy I took from James Altucher, who will be on my podcast. I'm releasing that episode later in July. But he does this thing where he just writes 10 ideas every morning. They don't have to be good ideas. They just have to be 10 ideas. You just write down 10 ideas every single morning about something.
No. So
That's not your
literally,
thing?
my stuff comes from conversations with people I have during the day. So I just write them down as they happen. And literally, I've got loads of ideas. People have said stuff, and the data's like a classic car, came from a conversation I had with someone. They just pop out of nowhere.
Yeah. And he's talking about here how to find creativity. Yours is an excellent example because creativity, at least to me, is just combining different things in a way that doesn't, obviously make sense. So for you, you've got this wonderful thing about coat, right? And I could do this for your data, and it's just combining like this concept of messy closets and messiness with the actual work that you do and putting that together to convey a very powerful meaning. And I think that's pretty fascinating.
Yeah, and then the tailor thing came from that, and then I've got more ideas. Yeah. The in the dry cleaner should be coming soon as well.
Are you working on pants? Pants?
No pants.
I'll come up with what pants stands for.
Well, it's the whole UK versus UA pants definition. So it doesn't really work over this side of the world.
Don't you guys call pants trousers in England?
Yeah.
That's a little long for a
Gives you more letters to work with.
I
Yeah.
would call them
acronym. Trousers.
freaks in Scotland.
Yeah. So I love that question on creativity. And I think it also has something to do with what Christina mentioned, which is just do it, right? And I think the best person to talk about just doing it here is actually Ravi, because he recently launched his Ravi show and now he's winning an award. Like, I want to hear your story, Ravi. Why don't you share with us?
Yeah, it's actually a journey, where it started from September 2020, and now it's to a level where I feel people are reaching out to me to interview them, which is obviously something which you will dream of as a starter or as a beginner in the community. So basically, it's about, like Harpreet mentioned, it's about creating ideas out of ideas. I've been watching content on LinkedIn. I've been looking at the podcast learning out of it, and that those small pieces are put together and put out the Rabbit Show. And it's always about the audience. You need to understand the audience very well, and I've understood one thing: what my audience love is different things and not just one content. It shouldn't be just limited to maybe data literacy or data governance. It can go up to even something in HR or what's happening in the recruitment world. So that's maybe the secret sauce, I can say.
Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing. What's going on, Susan?
We've lost. Oh, they've got a goal already.
So yeah, thank you so much for that, Trevor. Susan, you're going to be okay. Don't worry. They're going to catch up.
I'll be crying soon in the corner.
I know all of us here create content across different platforms, and I think one thing that George Durkin does really well is, oh, and look.
Hey,
Hey.
And the real brain behind it.
You should have your own square.
Yes,
We only have one laptop here. We're on a little retreat today, so
okay, nice.
Let's talk about new content, so it's fitting.
Yeah, so George, I want to hear from you. I know you got your workshop, you have your weekly data morning show, Lights on Data show, and you've also got courses. So tell us your story.
Well, you know, I was inspired by you quite a lot, Kate, because you always told me just do it. And I would always overthink it before, do a lot of planning because I wanted to have everything perfect. So for example, I've been sitting on, LinkedIn Live for like 8 months, not doing anything with it because I kept thinking, okay, I need to get all these things in orders and all these lights and all these, topics and everything. And I had a meeting with you on a Tuesday and you're like, no, just do it. This Friday, go on live. And 3 days later, I went live and started the Lights on Data show. So that kind of now applies to everything else. I learned something new. I find it to be valuable, or I hope, I think it was valuable for me. So I'm thinking it might be valuable to others. So then I create a course about it. I create an article. We have a topic on the show about it. So yeah, just doing it.
That, George, definitely. Kate is an inspiration, not just for you, but for me as well.
For all of us.
Definitely.
Thank you guys.
Absolutely.
And Scott, of course. Scott is the naughty kind of side of you on your shoulder going, do it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So we've
I
got
mean,
more to come.
You don't need permission to do anything, right? Like, you really don't.
No.
And there's no downside. Like, what's the possible worst that could happen? There's only potential upside. I like this comment. First of all, I want to address this other secondary comment from FF. I mean, these are all great ideas until there's a client with a deadline. Yeah, that's why you exercise the idea muscle, because having ideas is like a muscle, right? If you lay in bed for 2 weeks and you don't move, then your leg muscles are going to atrophy. I'm pretty sure Kate doesn't run marathons without having ran at least a little bit to prepare, right? So
just a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, it's like a muscle, right? And it's difficult because they're not like your bicep muscles that you can see when you lift weights, but they're actually muscles in your mind, right? And you can flex them, just practice and practice. And then Eric has
diamonds are made under pressure.
That's right, exactly. And you can use the constraints to further creativity. It'll just give you more creative ways to meet the deadlines, right? Eric says here, having taken a couple of weeks off to focus on writing, he realized during the exercise that tons of ideas erupted from the one article I was writing. So much so that he had to make a rabbit hole folder. I love that. I love that.
Harpreet, if I could
peeking over this.
Just interject another really helpful thing that I learned from someone here. Christina, thank you. I took hold of your never turn down a speaking opportunity. At first, it almost drove me crazy, and then I got into the flow of it. I created extra talks to keep on hand. That was some of the best advice I ever received. I stopped worrying about being perfectly prepared. I would just show up, and it's really been a life changer. And I was shocked at just how much people thought I had to give. So thank you, Christina. And I would like to echo her advice to everyone listening. If you get speaking opportunities, even to small groups, it's such a blessing. Just go do it and share. Share because you care.
Can I say, so January last year, I had done dizzy, all this moving around. I hadn't spoken at anything ever last January, and then got one webinar. Actually, thanks to Scott's 12 Days of Christmas, or 12 Days of Data. And then off the back of that, I got more and more and more, and I must have spoken at least 20 times last year. So, you know, it doesn't take much. Just go for it.
Yes.
And now you got a TED Talk. So don't, you know, no.
Yes.
You know, I got an email today. The videos are almost ready to go to TED. So.
Wow, so awesome. Really. TED Talk. Remember us.
Always.
That's huge.
I'm super happy to hear that, by the way, Tom. So for anyone listening, that's probably one of my biggest pieces of advice is don't say no to public speaking. And I remember even me, when I first got started with it, was so nervous. But you need to get over those first few times. And again, it goes back to that other piece of advice, which is to not overthink it. Just do it. We've been talking about that. So we're always going back to the same points.
And can we just encourage some more women to come forward and do more speaking as well?
+1 to that, yes.
Yeah, definitely. I was a bit saddened to see the lack of representation in the votes for the women content creators. There's so many of them out there. Just, you know, you guys pay attention to their content, let them know that you enjoy their content. Definitely felt like there's an overrepresentation of men in the awards, but again, it was a People's Choice Award, so people get out there and support the women content creators in our field.
Harpreet, I had to miss part of the awards, but I was confident that Susan did win the lip sync award, right?
That's no competition.
That doesn't even an award. That is just like, that's a given.
Oh, okay. That was my only concern. Thank you.
Tom, if you missed it, I won. And since let me give you my thank you speech again, because I want to give it to you direct. I thank you, by the way. All right, I think. We'll do the replay. See if I forgot you. I forgot to thank Tom, and I want to thank Tom for being Tom.
What is that thing you're holding? Where did you get this?
It's my Data Creator Award. Didn't everybody get one?
I mean, Ravi, you were here. Did you get one?
It came COD, which is unusual. It cost me $80 in postage. But
COD.
I love it.
Heard that phrase in a long time.
I know. I hadn't either. I was like, what?
So you will get your you'll get your non-fungible token award. They're actually NFTs. The awards. So we'll send.
This is really fungible.
Yeah, that's quite fungible. Yeah, that one is quite fungible.
Is that related to fungus? I'm confused.
This is my 1994. Scott Taylor's the best salesman I ever met, from my mentor Bill Everett in 1994. I don't even want to know how many of you weren't even born in '94.
Nice.
There you go. So
I was getting drunk in a park in '94.
I was in Uzbekistan in 1990.
I got a house full of props.
Yes, Kai, you always bring it with the energy and with the props.
That's my advice. If you're going to do public speaking, if you want some advice, you can come to me for sure. One of them, you better deliver the energy. Nobody wants to hear somebody who doesn't want to be there. My number one rule is do not start your presentation with, well, I know I'm the last thing before you and drinks. If I'm in the audience, I'm going to yell, then get out of the way. All right? You want to be all in the room. It's yours. It's your time. Be there and take it over. Self-deprecation, unless you're, a stand-up comedian, don't do it.
Yeah. That's and Robert's saying he actually joined the military in '94, so
all right.
That's there as well. Just wanted to make another note on public speaking. I used to say no quite a bit for public speaking roles because I used to think, well, what do I know? This was even before the podcast story that I told earlier. I used to think, well, what do I know? What am I going to speak about? But then I realized, and this is what I tell people these days, especially women, because we tend to have this thing of like, oh, maybe I'm not good enough. If someone's asking you to speak, they clearly want you there. So if they think you're good enough, chances are you're good enough. Same goes for careers, right? I think it was Greg who said, let the recruiters do their jobs. If they're contacting you, that means they see something in you or your skill sets are matching what they're looking for. And I think same goes with speaking roles. So just do it.
Should we ask to get paid if we're reached out to speak? Like how do we handle that, right? Let's say we get messages. I know a lot of us get messages in mail and like, hey, we got this awesome event. Do you want to put together a presentation and speak? And I'm like, okay, that's going to take me at least 12 to 15 hours of effort to make a good presentation plus the speaking. I'm not doing that for free. What do you guys think? Let's go to Scott Taylor for this one, and then Susan Walsh.
Oh no, I just put my hands up because everyone else was.
Oh,
yeah. I mean, I have transitioned to more paid for events. So since what I do actually is this, I don't have another job. So I started off 2 years ago just trying to get a whole bunch of credits to get out there. Now I'm moving to do it. I did an internal event today for a manufacturer. They were launching their own new data and software enablement program. There's like 100 people, salespeople. They had their head of sales and global transformation. And I was there to get them excited about the fact that they were going to become kind of data owners and data stewards and have to focus on something called master data, which none of them really even knew about. So that sort of thing. I mean, that's what I do, right? Provide data evangelism as a service. And I've found it's certainly keeping the lights on. So it's fun. So I don't say yes to everything anymore. If it's a podcast, I do, but because that's kind of an interview, everybody wants, you should do as many of those as possible. But public speaking is kind of part of my product set to a great degree. So, but I moved to that point. I know I've given, some of you some advice on that and whatever, but get out there. You got to have, you got to have the chops and the reputation. And to your point, Harpreet, have a couple of topics, come up with, I've got 2 fully fleshed, I can do them anytime, keynote type pieces of content. I've got a couple other things I'm sort of working on in case I need to come up with more or do other sessions, but be ready and then do the same thing because not everybody's going to be there. I'm doing a 35 different DAMA chapters. Mm-hmm. These webinars that are global. I'm doing Peru tonight, I think, or Uruguay. No, wrong side. I'm doing Peru tomorrow. Like I don't have to travel anywhere, but I'm doing the same thing. It's called Telling Your Data Story with the 3 V's. So, having that content ready gives you a chance to kind of leap at some of those opportunities, whether you get paid for it or not. And then that'll just elevate your stature and what people will think about you. And the one thing I did today was because I had done an association presentation and somebody said, oh, we want that same kind of enthusiasm and energy, but we want it internally. And so there's, it's self-marketing a lot of degrees.
George?
Yeah. I've transitioned to more paid speaking events, and really thanks to Scott for being such a great mentor and always providing me with great advice and feedback on, how he took the steps. But I always start when you're starting out, really do as many as you can. Like Christina mentioned, don't refuse anything. That'll really help you tailor your message, your presentation, and then you'll just be ready to charge for it. And whenever you are invited, just ask, is there any speaker compensation? A lot of these events actually provide something, but if you don't ask, some of them will not offer. So just don't be afraid to ask.
Do you have a speaker budget? Will they cover travel, even if they're not paying you for the speech? Exactly. Travel. I mean, travel's coming back. Those are little kinds of things. Don't be bashful about it. A lot of organizations, even though they're not going to pay, tens of thousands of dollars for a keynote speaker to come in, some big, Hollywood person, they certainly cover travel, that sort of thing. So
how much are they paying you to do this, Scott?
What?
We gave him an award. That's what he paid. But speaking about talking about stories.
Is he naked? He's naked.
He's naked. He's
I have one special guest that's still backstage.
Yeah, bring him
up. I'm gonna bring him up. Let him say hi. His name.
What's up, guys?
How's it going?
I figured I had to fill in the Brady bunch.
Yeah, there you go. I love it.
You had 9, but two in one square. I don't know. It doesn't really count.
Where's the uniform?
I love it.
Oh, it's retired.
Oh.
There you go.
Thank you for serving.
It's still hanging in the closet somewhere.
We couldn't wait to see the back of it.
So I got a question actually for Christina. We're talking about talking about telling your story and coming on to podcast. Like, one of the questions people always ask on podcasts is all about, tell me about yourself, tell me about your story. How did you kind of formulate that? Was it something that you were intentional about? This is a story I want to share with people. This is the journey I want to share with people, or was it just kind of natural? Does it vary every time? Does my question kind of make sense?
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah, and I was actually, I was going to share a secret here because I realized that we were talking about not saying no to a public speaking opportunity, and Kate came to me asking me to speak at this award ceremony.
Yes.
And I said no.
Yeah.
And I just realized, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so hypocritical. But but I'm going to share the second secret that goes with this. And I think a lot of the data vendors do not know this yet. I said no because I'm super overwhelmed because right now I'm moving to New York City. So Kate and I are going to take over the city.
Ah, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So one of the few times I've ever said no, but because I had to prioritize this. And then going back to your question about the story, Harpreet, for me, I don't know, I haven't really worked out how to tell my story. I just know that my story has been like very odd. It's been all over the place. I'm from the US. I ended up moving abroad and doing my career in a completely different country. And now I'm going back. So I'm going to see how it is doing that in the US now. But I didn't overthink it myself for the story.
Yeah,
Again, I didn't overthink it.
Yeah, because you look at any one of our LinkedIn profiles, it just looks like a straight line. Like, we just fucking had shit figured out from day one. Like, this is it. But that's not the truth,
yourself,
right?
man.
There's just like,
It's not even close.
Yeah, it's not even close, and it's like, how do we convey that to people? But then at the same time, not do damage to our own brand, our own reputation, right? Because there's some colorful shit in my past, but do I actually want to talk about that with people out in the open, right? What do you think, Albert? Albert. I meant Al.
I'll talk about all of it. I don't know. How colorful are we talking, man?
You should just go and look at my Facebook and you'll see it all.
Right.
Yeah,
I guess it's
yeah.
where to draw the lines with, how much of yourself do we actually share? We opened with Kate, Ali Miller, talking about bring your whole self and share yourself on social media and stuff. But is there a boundary when it comes to our story? Like, does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think I've talked about this with just within the military community, and it comes up. I know it came up last year, like Mental Health Day. It's like you talk about, like, if you're someone that's struggling with PTSD, is that something that you talk about openly? Like, it's honest, it's vulnerable, but it can also hurt you getting a job. Nobody ever saw fit to shoot at me, so I don't have that problem, but I know plenty of people that do. So, it's tough to kind of draw that line. And like stupid stuff you did when you were young, and you learn from it. Sure, it's part of your story, absolutely, but like, I suppose if you wouldn't bring it up in a job interview, maybe it's not something for social media. Just keep that with kind of family and friends face to face.
Yeah, definitely like that advice. Because it's like all of our paths look so straightforward, right? But there's always winds and twists and turns in there that we don't anticipate. Tom, what about you? Like, have you?
I was just thinking. I mean, I know Albert's had it all cushy because he's been through the Marines, but in real life, tough.
Known for cushy.
Boots on the ground industry. Yeah.
Data science.
But you do get treated like shit at many points in your career by sometimes even by well-meaning people. But we tend not to talk about that. But what I find is when I'm trying to encourage my family, meaning my data family, and it's a private chat or a smaller group, I say, hey, these are the ways I've been mistreated in my career. These are the ways I've acted out because of my own injuries and my own baggage, and it took a long time to learn to overcome that. Those are more private talks where I'm just really trying to encourage someone that's down, going through the same crap, but I tend not to do it very often publicly, no. But yeah, I think we could all raise our hands and say, yes, I've been through crap.
I mean, just don't do LinkedIn Lives when you're drunk and you'll be fine.
Awesome. Hey, so guys in the audience, like questions are wide open. Is anybody still watching this, Kate? How many people got tuned in?
We have 1.5 million people currently tuned in, watching, holding their breath, and wondering.
We know you're out there. We can hear you clicking.
Yeah, a little bit less than I anticipated. I thought we'd have at least 4 trillion by now.
Robert says when we go to an award ceremony and office hour session breaks.
It's a combo.
This is a surprise.
Yeah.
For those who stuck around for what 3 hours and 40 minutes that we've been live now.
Yeah, I mean 3 hours 40 minutes. I know Kate's been standing. I've been sitting down the whole time. My butt is sore.
I just sat down. Yeah, I sat down for this because I'm like, let's just relax.
Yeah.
Great job, you two, by the way, really.
Yeah, and
fantastic. Keep it going. You look good. You can both look so sharp today. Keep the dress code up at that level.
Yeah.
Good.
Thank you very much. Yeah. Shout out to all the sponsors that did not sponsor us. We're gonna come back next year, bigger and better. We'll be here.
Yeah,
for you.
I like that comment. Yeah. We raised our rates.
Yep.
A comment here from Gilbert. So vulnerability connects her pre-Dakota. I tried to share my own challenges to inspire others to do the same. There's enough content about celebration. Yes. If I see one more, oh look what I've accomplished. Yeah, those are a dime a dozen. I think there is definitely a balance though. Sometimes you want to share. I think sometimes people overshare. And you kind of look at it and you're like, okay, well, what do we do now? Right? Oh, Susan, there you go. Susan, Tom.
I want to share something. I don't know if she's listening, but my wonderful daughter, Manpreet Putraja, she's not a new data engineer anymore, but my favorite post from her was when she, using Git, broke their main repository. And she wrote a post about it. I went, bravo. It was so awesome that she bragged about, okay, I'm getting good at Git, but I broke main. The main repository, sorry, Git speed.
Yes. Yeah, I think, I just like to keep it real and honest. So yeah, there's lots of good times, but there's also some not so great times, and just people are on a journey with me, which is quite nice. So, you know, I'm going to say it again, and I'm really tempted to say every time I say this, but I very rarely get trolled. Amazingly, I don't seem to offend anyone, so I don't quite know how that happened, but yeah.
It's kind of calmed down, at least for me. I was getting picked on for a while. I know you two were a little bit
a budget to pay them, that's why.
And we kind of got, I don't know if we got rid of them or they got tired or whatever. But
the Avengers all assembled and took
we assemble when one of us gets picked on by some, mean, snarky troll.
There's so many trolls out there. How do you guys handle that, man?
Yeah,
that's a big deterrent for people. Is like, what if I post something and like I get like a small little fact correct? There's always gonna be some arrogant guy out there that's gonna be like, oh well, what about this thing you're missing? What about that thing? And like, dude, like I've got just a small amount of space. Like, calm the fuck down. Like, relax.
Happened to me yesterday. Did a post. Normalized vendors versus unnormalized vendors. And someone said on a comment, oh, well, that's just as dangerous as the other picture. No elaboration on what he meant by that. Just wanted to bait me.
Whoever has echoes going on.
Someone got a tab open.
Yeah, if you're not speaking, maybe mute.
Yeah.
One thing that's worked pretty good, I can't say it always works, but it feels like it's 80% or more, is just private message them. Hey, I'd really like to take some value from your concerns. What are your concerns? And after we chat a minute, most of the time they apologize and back down, but not always. Mm-hmm. But even those that won't engage me, I've noticed their comments go away. I can only warn everyone, if you do it to any of my data children, beware.
Well, we have come to, you've asked us to come to their defense, I know, more than once, so we're there. Yeah, I've done the same thing, kind of reach out to them. I'm not quite as polite as you, but it's like, hey, what's up? What's this? Because I get accused of simplifying, you know, people tell me, oh, it's, you know, it's a lot more complicated than that. I go, yeah, no, that's the way you explain it. It's a lot more complicated. I'm trying to use the least amount of words possible and explain it to people who have no idea. So you're right. It is more complicated when you want to do it, but staying true, as I mentioned, sort of my point of view, all about the why, not about the how. That keeps me safely in the space I'm in. I can expand there. You know, I'm doing great in that lane, but, you know, knowing your position, but playing it as well as possible, I found serves me pretty good.
I love the way we've defended one another too. If someone gets a troll, we remind each other, oh, that means you're doing something good. Way to go. It's like a badge of honor as we look at each other. But when we look at ourselves, hey, why did that happen? It's the reverse reaction. Sorry.
We tend to think we take it personally. And what I've done, I don't get many trolls, but sometimes I'm actually very sensitive. So if somebody comments like something even slightly on the negative spectrum, like even a little bit, I immediately I'm like, oh my God, I suck. I'm terrible. I'm doing everything wrong. But what's helped me is to actually take that troll, give this troll like a minute or two of your time. First question whether they're right? Are you actually that terrible? Ask yourself those questions, because you might be doing something really wrong and you can improve upon it, right? So take it as feedback. But two, look at the other activity that this troll has taken in the past few months. And one thing I've always noticed is a troll is a troll, no matter where they go, right? So if they left a comment, I think somebody at some point left a comment on the tone of my voice and the fact that if I want to be on camera, it has to be a deeper voice, which I thought would be a little weird. I have no problems with my voice, but anyways. So then I went to see what the person was writing about others, and yes, he had an issue with somebody's hair, and somebody was to this and to that. I'm like, okay. And those are typically the people who don't even put content out there to begin with. They kind of just sit back and like to judge everybody else. But interestingly, that made me feel better because I'm like, okay, this was not personal. This person is just, you know, they enjoy doing things like that.
Al, don't you have a name for this person? LinkedIn Larry or something like that?
Who is it?
Al, didn't you have like a name for a person like this who talks smack?
Oh yeah, LinkedIn Ken. LinkedIn Ken is always coming around. So in my case, LinkedIn Ken always had a very illustrious military career, which when you check their experience looks really suspect and kind of all over the place. Like nobody's in special forces in like 3 different branches of the military. That's not a thing. So if there's any LinkedIn Kens listening in right now, nobody does that. So if that's what your profile says, you're counterfeit. But yeah, they come in anytime I post anything military. It's like, wasn't like that when I was in Iraq, Afghanistan, Vietnam. All right, thanks, pal. Appreciate it. So, yeah.
I think Scott had an idea to start a database of these trolls because we figured out that actually it was the same trolls that were overlapping with a bunch of us. You know, they were posting kind of mean content to each one of us. So that's kind of what they do on LinkedIn. Has nothing to do with you, your content. It's that's what they're getting their pleasure out of.
Yeah. So don't let that deter you if you guys are scared of people commenting. Most people are going to come in and say positive.
Just call us. Just we'll defend you.
1-800-DATA-Ventures.
That's right.
That's it. That's a great tip, Kate. Yeah, take a look at what else they do, and then you find out they put some snarky thing on somebody else, and another thing. You just go, all right.
I am a little confused. I've been trying to understand. Is Scott more a Tony Stark or a Captain America? I'm still on the fence.
Oh, he's a Tony Stark all the way.
Okay, I thought so. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll take it. He's Team Iron Man for sure.
I was like, Captain America's got too much goodness. No offense, Scott, but
I got a little bit of Robert Downey Jr. attitude.
Scott's more of a bad boy. We get it.
Ravi, what about you? Do you have any trolls? What do you do with them?
for me, I don't know. I just ignore them. Maybe that's me. It's like haters are gonna hate. I don't care. And sometimes if it's overwhelming, where it kind of hurts me, like even a bit, then maybe I do the same what you do, Kate. Well, I'll just go and stalk them first. That are they doing it for everyone? Is it their hobby? Are they getting something out of it, which is I don't know what pleasure out of trolling people. But yeah, I just maybe for me it's a little different. I'm just like haters gonna hate. I don't care.
Yes, yes. Thank you for sharing that. Susan, I see you changed your name to Gold.
Oh, just in case anyone's wondering.
Sure. We weren't wondering. We knew.
Wait, did Scott just change his name to Susan Waller?
Health and
Wow.
safety issues.
Yes.
Nice.
I love it.
I see you're both wearing the new Zoom fashion line.
Yes. Yes.
I think it's time to wrap up, guys. This is good.
George just got his speedos on. We don't want to see them.
Yeah, I think we're gonna go. We're going down now.
Yeah.
You dared me. Okay. All right, girls, stand up.
Yes, thank you guys so much for hopping in. The data adventures always unite, so I really appreciate it. Harpreet, thank you for co-hosting. It's so much fun to have a co-host. Ravit, I know you and I did this for the book party last year. That was a lot of fun. So thank you guys so much.
Kate, thank you for agreeing to this crazy event with me. I know it probably sounded like a crazy person when I reached out to you. And it was like, hey, let's just do an award show. So thank you for being flexible and running with it. Thank you for bearing with me. I know I'm probably not the best person to do an event with. I think I was not as responsive as you'd liked, but appreciate your patience with me and everything. Thank you.
Thank you both for putting the lights on DATAcated.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, thank you all for joining, and thanks for those who are still watching.
Oh, and one more message to everyone out there. Remember, friends, you've got one life on this planet. Why not try to do something big? Cheers, everyone.
Yes, just do it, guys. All right.
Yes.
Bye.
Cheerio.